It's a beautiful fall evening here in the city at the intersection of US 131 and M20. A great setting for any given hockey game. However, this is not just any hockey game. It is the first game of a year-long celebration of 10 seasons of Chippewa hockey that starts right now. Good evening, everybody, and a welcome inside Ewigleben Ice Arena in Big Rapids, Michigan. My name is Reagan Cleaves. This is Devin Sarah, and we will be with you the entire way here tonight as the Central Michigan Chippewas and the Ferris State Bulldogs battling out in a season opener here in Big Rapids, Michigan. Well, Devin, the biggest story of the offseason for the Chippewas was how many veterans they lost in the offseason. Whether it was seniors graduating or just players leaving to go other places, you've lost the likes of Thomas Rowe, Brennan Martin, and Joey Simon-Selly. How do you think the Chippewas will handle the loss of those big pieces to their offense?
Absolutely, Reagan. Change is the name of the game for the 2022 Central Michigan Chippewas. 9 skaters departed the squad on the greener pastures. Notably of those, 4 of the top 6 goal scorers for the Chippewas moved on to alumni pastures. The leading goal scorer or goaltender in the ACHA, Thomas Rofe, moved on as well. A big departure for the Chippewas. But they didn't just sit around and wait. They added 10 new skaters to this offense in 6 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 new goaltender in Elijah Jones. And we'll talk about that goaltender battle that's going to be going on throughout the year. But the key piece for the Chippewas tonight is building the team chemistry, and we're going to have it all for you here on CCHN.
Yeah, certainly in a series in which the home team has points in 5 of the last 6 games. This should be an interesting contest here tonight. Let's take a look, before we get on to the matchup a little bit more here tonight, let's take a look at the season ago for the Chippewas. Devin, they had a really good regular season, going 14-6, 0-6 with ACHA leading 6 ties. They advanced as far as the MCHC semifinals, where they lost to the Hope Dutchmen, the eventual national champions, 6-0. But they had redemption in the national tournament in St. Louis. They went 1-1. They won 0-1 through their first 2 games in pool play in St. Louis before facing Hope in their final pool play game. Hope would take the Chippewas to overtime and eventually knock them off 2-1 before going on to, as we said, win that national championship in a game over Michigan. Devin, any thoughts on last season for the Chippewas?
Mostly a successful season. You know, the team had a really good start to the year. They really went undefeated through the first 5 or so games. Got to the middle part of that year against opponents like Adrian and Florida Gulf Coast and struggled. They went on kind of a curve of losing in goals and really giving up a lot of bad ones as Thomas Rofe really didn't have help in front of him. But the Chippewas came back later in that year. They moved on to the MCHC playoffs, had a great opening game against Adrian, and made their way and overcame some demons, beating Lawrence Tech in double overtime. That was really my point of the season, and that game really got them a good seat in Nationals. Had to go up against the reigning national champions, Hope, lost in a heartbreaker at Nationals, but a successful year that just meant as a stepping stone. And the reason I say a stepping stone, even though they lost a lot of defenders, is these veterans that are here took a step forward, like the likes of Charlie Hayes, one of the new of 2 captains alongside Keelan Baker for the Chippewas. Christopher Martin gets to wear the A, as well as Ben Reichuk, who was a very physical presence for the Chippewas. Expect him to be a great penalty killer for them this year. Overall, it was a building year because now they can bring in these new recruits, bring in these fast skaters, and really build a consistent and well-rounded team that doesn't just play good physically, but has the goal scoring and the defensive capability to keep up with the likes of the best in the league.
Yes, certainly, and I think the word to describe last year was resilience for the Chippewas. They faced a lot of adversity with losing a bunch of defensemen to injuries, especially in the middle part of the year and toward the tail end of it. We, at some point, played, I think, 5 defensemen in games. And they battled through it, were able to make it to Nationals, and put up a pretty good showing. Taking a look tonight around the Michigan Collegiate Hockey Conference, only one team in action this weekend in the Chippewas and Bulldogs home conference. Oakland is taking on Notre Dame. OU finished 6th last season in the NCHC East, while Notre Dame made their way all the way to the national tournament, losing to Arkansas in the pool play finale.
Yeah, the Oakland Grizzlies, really a team that excites me this year. The transfer Tyler Martin, now with the Chippewas from there. We'll look to see him on that fourth line as that extra skater for the Chippewas. And how about the new jerseys? If you haven't seen this, you have the Instagram. Go to OU-D3 Hockey. They came up with some absolutely sick new Adidas jerseys. The OU squad, some of the best looking teams in the ACHC. And how about Notre Dame? You know, coming off a really successful year, they made it to nationals, lost a heartbreaker, double overtime game to Arkansas in their pool play final. That would have been to go to the national championship semifinal. So Notre Dame looking for a bounce back year. That's a good start for them, a good test for both those teams to get some jitters out of the way to start the year.
Yeah, certainly a good series. We'll keep an eye on that as we move on here in the broadcast. Taking a look at both these two teams down here on the ice below us, the Central Michigan Chippewas last year went 16-7-0-7 overall, including the national tournament. As we said, made their way to the MCHE semifinals against Hope. Overall, a good showing for Central Michigan. As for Ferris State, they finished 23rd in the year last year in the national rankings. They look to improve on that, finish with this season. Last year they went 13-14-0-1, finished fourth in their division behind the likes of Hope, GVSU, and Michigan State. So they've got some tough competition in their division.
Yeah, and you're going to receive a new Ferris State Bulldogs team. They added nearly as many freshmen as the Chippewas did. They have about 4 remaining seniors from that last squad. Nathan Bartholomew is one of their captains and the team president. So what as the goaltender will be one of the leadership groups of them, going to have to lead a young team. This is a really exciting matchup on both sides that we're going to get into.
And we will get into that. As we mentioned, these teams in the last 6 games, the home team has points in all but one. The Central Michigan Chippewas have a 5-1 record in that span. These teams have only faced each other 6 times. The last time coming back in 2020 when Central Michigan knocked off the Bulldogs at home on January the 26th. Now Devin will take a look at our scratches for us here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of notable players out for the Chippewas. Braden Keel, one of the new forwards for the Chippewas, out today with sort of a shoulder injury as well out of this game. Is Keegan Moore, the junior forward. And another notable scratch for tonight, Joel Drucker, one of the goaltenders out for this one. Brandon Marshall as well. And finally, to round out your scratches for the Central Michigan Chippewas, will be Kyle Chapman tonight here.
Yeah, so Kyle Chapman is out. That's a new addition. But you do mention the fact that Joel Drucker is out. The junior for Central Michigan has been scratched here tonight in favor of both the Joneses, Elijah and Joel. It's an ongoing goaltending battle as we open up the season the first couple of weeks here. Joel is projected to get the start a little bit later on next week, maybe against Lake Superior State, or maybe he gets the start against Cleary in one of those weekends. But that's going to be a story we're going to watch throughout the first couple of weeks of this season, is that goaltending battle. It's anybody's game at this point, and it could be either Elijah Jones, Lauren Jones, or Joel Drucker as we head forward.
Absolutely. Time now to look at our players to watch presented by SeamanChiceHockey.com. The first player we'll talk about is none other than the new forward, the transfer from Arcadia University's NCAA Division III team, Nathan Bottles, sitting at 6'1", 174 pounds. This player is the total package and one that looks to be a prometheal goal scorer. He has the agility and speed to move up the ice and race defenders back to the net and put pucks in the net. He has great hockey IQ, great vision on the ice. He made a lot of moves with Arcadia last season with the 4 goals he scored for them, where he would get into the open seams down low, banging sort of close to the net and finding those open seams as the defenders spread out. Look for him to be a player to watch in this one, as well as the number 19 forward, the sophomore from Novi, Michigan, Isaac Gibbs. Last year was the top leading goal scorer and point getter for the Chippewas, and suffered a wrist injury going into nationals last year, played through that, and still put up numbers, a couple of points for them in that. So Gibbs showing already his mental toughness, physical toughness, and those two are going to combine to be, I predict, the Chippewas' top goal scorers this season. As for Ferris State, the number 24 forward, Sean O'Connor, the leading goal scorer for them last season, looks to be, once again, the prometheal leader of this team, as well as number 26, Trevor Van Vliet, the leader in assists last year by more than double. And for both those guys, O'Connor double over the entire team. in all point categories. So those two will be our players to watch for Ferris. And now time to look at our keys to the game for the Central Michigan Chippewas. I put down first, the Chippewas have to set a fast tempo and move the intensity. This game coming out here, the first matchup of the season, it's always a little bit, there's some hiccups and stepping stones to move past. Obviously, we talked about all of the players that left the Chippewas. Well, now these new players have to form some new chemistry. There's going to be brand new lines. There's going to be the likes of, as we mentioned, Isaac Gibbs out there, Nathan Bottles, but Andrew Siraki on that fourth line, Hayden Flynn, a lot of good players that still have to kind of find their own with the Chippewas. My second key to the game is going to manage the back end and capitalize on Ferris's mistakes. As with young teams, there's bound to be a lot of mistakes. Every chance the Chippewas get, they have to move the puck up the ice, make something happen, and look for the nice read once those mistakes happen and create turnovers. My final key to the game will be to back up your goaltender. Lauren Jones gets his second career start as a Central Michigan Chippewa. His last start came against University of Michigan Flint, and he pitched a shutout in that one. So Lauren Jones getting his second start as a Chippewa will be one that needs some help, needs to block shots in front and do everything and stay poised as defenders on the ice.
Thank you, Devin. Those are our keys to the game. And moving on to bringing back a tradition that we started last year with our Light the Lamp competition. This year is just going to be Devin, myself, as well as Joe Grogan, our social media manager. So first pick this week was, I had the first pick, and I went with Nathan Bottles for everything that Devin mentioned earlier. And I just want to see how he's going to do in his first ACHA contest against some opposition that he may not have seen. Devin, who'd you go with?
Well, hey, listen, last year, I kind of got off to a rocky start in the year, but I came on strong, and I actually won the Light the Lamp last year, so you owe me a steak dinner still.
Oh, my goodness,
but listen,
we're back to
I'm
this
going
again?
back to a great pick that's always picked out for me, the number 19 forward, the sophomore, Isaac Gibbs. I predict for him 2 goals tonight on the night, and he's going to get me that Light the Lamp victory once again.
Yeah, and then Joe Grogan, our social media manager, went with Andrew Porzondik, one of the top goal scorers and point getters for Central Michigan last year. That is where he is going. That's who Joe's going with here tonight.
I like A1 barbecue sauce in my steak, by the way. I still owe me one. We'll go to Texas Roadhouse later. Don't worry about that one.
Fine, whatever you say. Now, Devin, earlier this week you sat down with Coach Tyler Cataline talking, and this is going to be in lieu of our coaches show that we normally have in this spot, but Devin, how about you recap that conversation for us you had with Tyler Cataline?
Yeah, I did sit down with the fifth-year head coach, Tyler Cataline. A lot of our conversation was about what the chemistry is going to look like with this team. A lot of lines have been shifted around to make way for the new players. As we mentioned, Nathan Bottles is going to start on that top line. Andrew Porzondik is going to move up there as well. A lot of those players that were sophomores, juniors, are going to get that opportunity to be leadership positions. Obviously, we talked about on the pregame show the defense, right? A couple of injuries have already plagued the Chippewas to start. Austin Ritter's going to have to move back for the injured Braden Kielb, as well as Kyle Chapman now being out of this game. We're going to see where exactly they play a forward to that back end, and that's a big story to watch throughout this year. They needed more depth. All we talked about in this meeting was how deep can the Chippewas back end get in the defensive category. It's not as deep as they'd like right now to start the season, but obviously injuries plagued them last year. It's going to be a story to watch in this one. He said they have to be more consistent on the back end, make sure they're protecting their goaltender. The Chippewas cannot face 50 shots every single game and expect to win like they did with the perennial leader, Thomas Roaf. They're going to have to play stout defensively. And one more thing I wanted to mention was the absolute ability they need to have on the forecheck. He said this is a much faster Chippewa team. A lot of the old guard, as we like to say, the 9 skaters that left, they kind of were getting up there in the age category. And even though we're not calling them like 40-year-olds here, look, the fact is you have older players. Sometimes they can slow down. Maybe an effort is a question. With this team, that will not be an issue for this squad, as they want to start fast. They want to pound the puck hard. They want to get into the defensive areas and make stuff happen on offense. So the forecheck is going to be on all sides something that we'll need to watch, and we'll talk about it all throughout this game as well. So that was a little bit of our conversation with head coach Tyler Cataline.
Well, thank you for that, Devin. And the Zamboni has gotten on the ice. The players have gone into the locker room to take their break, and we will do so as well. But stay with us. We will have the Chippewas and the Bulldogs in the season opener for the 2022-23 campaign coming up right after this here on CCHN.
Starting lines for the Ferris State Bulldogs. Out there at the forward positions will be the number 10 of Michael Puraleski, the 21 of Brendan Karn, and the 24 of Sean O'Connor. The deep pairings, Ty Schiff, number 23, as well as number 10, number 5, Colton Cundiff. And Reagan has our starting netminders.
Yeah, starting netminders for the Central Michigan Chippewas. They're going to send out Lauren Jones, who was 1-0 in his previous start, and he got his opposite number, Hunter Bartholomew, in net for the Bulldogs.
Starting lineups for the Central Michigan Chippewas will be none other than the forward position, the number 19 of Austin Gibbs, or Isaac Gibbs, excuse me, the 18, Christopher Martin, as well as Jay Nadeau. The defensive pairings will be Connor Morgan, as well as Austin Ritter.
Central Michigan will go from left to right across your radio dial wearing those road maroon uniforms with gold trim, gold helmets, maroon pants, and maroon socks with gold trim. Lauren Jones in net to our left. For the Bulldogs, it'll be white jerseys with red shoulders and red trim, black pants and white socks. We've got 20 minutes on the clock. Puck drop at center. We are underway in the 2022-23 campaign from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Pinned up along the boards across the way, that is Ty Schiff. It was worked free to the near side, taken there by the Chippewas, and Connor Morgan dumped it in. Bulldogs, though, got the puck, and Puraleski will dump it in. It caromed off the end boards. Jones played it there. Taking it there is Christopher Martin. He got bumped, and it's moved on ahead to Nadeau. Jay Nadeau gains the red line and dumps it in to get him the icing. Chippewas will change. Bartholomew left the puck. Good keeping there at the point there by Clements. Oh, he got bumped into the boards. That's going to be a boarding penalty. There goes Lauren Jones. Out at center, here's the captain, alternate captain, Charlie Hayes, will backhand it into the offensive end. Andrew Porzondik in, he played it off the side of the net, and the Bulldogs, Cundiff will touch up, and the Central Michigan Chippewas will head on the power play. 56 seconds into this opening period.
That was a tough first hit for the newly recruited freshman Brendan Clements out there with the boarding penalty there at center ice. The Chippewas to their first power play of the season already, just a minute into this one, playing it really into the back pocket of them, and now we get to see this top line go to work here on the power play.
Now the question is, Devin, is it going to be more than just 2 minutes? We got the referees talking in the officials circle in front of the penalty boxes across the way. We'll see if it adds up to more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Clements really got pounded there right above the chest protected area. He really took that one in the shoulder and kind of went head first, so they probably were looking at somewhere around that, looking at maybe a misconduct, but it looks like the resume play with 2 minutes still on the board.
It'll be Alec Newton into the box, and in for the drop for the Chippewas was Nathan Buttles. Here's Isaac Gibbs from the right point, firing one wide. Keelan Baker picks it up in the left corner. Baker slides it behind the net, too far for Porzondik. Gibbs pinches in from the right point to shove it down low for Baker. Keelan Baker, bottom of the right circle, fires a shot, saving the rebound. Loose in the right circle, and a great job there by Porzondik to work that puck free. He kept it in. We'll throw it down off the boards down there for Nathan Buttles. The transfer from Arcadia University works in, and he got bumped free of the puck, but the Bulldogs were able to clear it only to center ice, where it was gloved down by Isaac Gibbs.
Yeah, Bottles with a pretty good, solid first shift out there. Was working down low on the cycle with Keelan Baker. The Chippewas want to get this puck really in front of the net and create chaos down low for Bartholomew.
1:18 to go in the power play. Look out, Gibbs saving the rebound. Was denied there by Bartholomew. Great play there by the Chippewas to work it free and get that chance.
At one point, our goaltender Joel Drucker up here right now, scratched from this one, was talking about was Bartholomew's type of goaltender where you have to shoot on him low. You have to get the puck down by his pads instead of up top, because you give him a lot of shots up near his head area, he's going to catch it all day long. So the Chippewas really have to bang that one low and get a goal past his pads.
48 seconds to go in the man advantage. Back in his own end, taking it there is Avery Rivard. Rivard played it out to neutral ice. It was shoveled on ahead. It popped up in the air high above the Bulldog logo. Rychuk took a man down, and that's going to be a penalty against Ben Rychuk. Will go 4-on-4 for the next 35 seconds before the Bulldogs will go on the power play.
Yeah, that's just a tough play by Rychuk, really checking away that stick over there on the number 9 forward, Hank Young, and Young really just trying to protect that puck under his skates. I mean, that's not really a terrible penalty to take, but this one early, it's going to go even strength right now for the next 35 seconds.
2:22 at the time of the penalty. Draw will be to the right of Lauren Jones. In the zone 2 on left, it'll be Brennan Karn in for the draw against Nathan Bottles. Bottles tied up Karn, but it was worked free into the boards. Bottles working behind, gets crunched up there by Sean O'Connor. Now look out, O'Connor tried to feed it out in front, was blocked there by Baker. O'Connor took a spill, and he poked the puck behind the net. Clements getting in there, wearing the number 11 in maroon for Central Michigan. He and Isaac Gibbs working in 2-on-1 against O'Connor behind the boards, and it's worked along free. Newton for a cross check. Icing waved off as the Chippewas are on the PK. Here's Clements.
Another big hit there on Clements.
He's taken a beating, but he gets back up and works defensively as the Chippewas are now on their first penalty kill of the 22-23 campaign.
Yeah, that's an experienced player, O'Connor, really recognizing the new starter for the Chippewas and giving him a hard time early in this one. But that's kind of something you need as a player. Get that first good pop out of the way, gets you really going onto this one.
Schiff played it into the offensive end for the Bulldogs. Lychuk off for interference. Working the puck free, here's Julian Johnson.
Yeah,
joined the team last year from Adrian, the Division II squad. Lost the puck on a pass back to him from Andrew Siraki.
Yeah, Julian's one of those players that should see a lot more playing time. He was kind of shuffling out of that extra skater last year when joining the Chippewas mid-season. Had a goal in that Florida Gulf Coast game and is only his third start. So Julian Johnson, one of those players we hope to see more playing time on the ice. Could make a difference for this group as look out.
That might be a difference right there as Johnson tripped a man at center and off goes Bartholomew. It'll be a power play for the Bulldogs here. A 5-on-3 for 5 seconds before they will head on another one.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty to take for Johnson. He was really just trying to slash the puck away at the stick of O'Connor, one of the Bulldog players in there. But the point is he actually get behind on the play, had to catch up at center ice, was trying to get that play from behind and really just couldn't catch up to it. Results on a 5-on-3 for the next 5 seconds. But that's a tough string of penalties to take for the Chippewas early.
Nadu wins the draw for the Chippewas. Baker has it behind his net. 2 seconds to go in the power play. It's 5-on-4 now. A long extended power play here for the Bulldogs. Out in front, they shoot and score! Ty Schiff working it into the slot and ripping it past the blocker of Lauren Jones. And at 4:28, the Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead on the power play.
Yeah, that's a good job by Pierleski to make his move down there, banging at it down low, found the open seam past the short-handed Chippewas, only 5-on-3 there, and just found the open seam in the slot. Man, a first shot, first goal of the game for the Bulldogs, and Lauren Jones on only his second start gives that one up early. He's going to have to rebound here quickly and have a short memory because that's a tough first goal to give up.
First goal he's given up in his ACHA career. His first start was a shutout against U of M Flint. Now the Bulldogs win the face-off. Now working with a 1-goal lead here early. Great job there by Sam Camara to cut that pass off. Now working back in his own head. Here's Connor Morgan. Worked it up to Baker left point. He ripped one high and wide. Isaac Gibbs overskated it. Camara worked it back down to Gibbs. Gibbs worked it up to the point. Great keep there by Baker. Gibbs fed it back to Baker in the slot. He fires a shot. That was blocked down in front of the rebound. Will go to the far corner. Behind the net, here is Morgan once again. Morgan tied up. Good work here by the Bulldogs. Alec Newton, who took the first penalty, tied it up along the boards. Puck comes free into the right corner. Morgan there, worked it to Gibbs. Gibbs a shot saving the rebound out in front, and Nadu couldn't find it, but Hunter Bartholomew good for a stoppage of play. 14:37 left here in the opening period.
That's a good pressure by the Chippewas still early in this one. The Bulldogs gave them a lot of time and space to get those shots on Bartholomew. Trusting their goaltender, however, they rely on those rebounds. The Chippewas do. Bartholomew has none of it. He's scooping these pucks up, really playing stout so far early in this one, already getting going. The Bulldogs kind of have the momentum in this one.
They certainly do. They got a abbreviated power play. Another one might be coming up, but no. Orange stripes keep the arms down. Throwing his weight around out there for the Chippewas is Andrew Siraki. Freshman for the Chippewas, playing in his first game here for the Maroon and Gold. Working here is Siraki. Along the half boards near side, worked it free. Porzondik tapped it to Clements. Back down for Morgan, out in front. Porzondik streaking on the back door. Couldn't tap it home. Here's Ryan Ferris, rims it around the boards. Clements couldn't handle it. He'll try to play it off the boards. He gets it and skates across the line. Will weave to the far side, taken back, handed in around the boards. The near side, drilling his man into the corner there, was Nathan Bottles. Here's a shot from the high slot there by Bottles. It was blocked into the far corner. Here's the announcement on the goal.
That's a good first shift there for Andrew Porzondik, one of the leading goal scorers for the Chippewas, 11 on the season, along with Owen Campbell last year. Had the seam out the front there from the feed and really got inside positioning on that defender. Just couldn't finish it off to get past the blocker side of Bartholomew, but I love the speed of Porzondik. He's going to be one of those players that's now in that leadership position. One of the upperclassmen. Expect him to have a great year for the Chippewas.
Penalty coming up here on the Bulldogs. Too many men on the ice. They got caught with 6 skaters on. Serving the penalty here is Colton King. That goal for the Bulldogs was scored by Ty Schiff. The assist goes to Tyler Skeel. So the Chippewas at 6:35 will go on their second power play of the afternoon. They're 0 for 1. Up at the right point, it slid across to Charlie Hayes. He'll step into a wrist shot, blocked away by Bartholomew. Nadeau works it up top for Hayes. Hayes walking the line, sends it down to Nadeau, left circle, back up to Hayes, a one-timer. And seeing it all the way was Hunter Bartholomew, who'll hold on for a whistle. 1:44 to go in the man advantage.
Yeah, Rychuk really making things tough for the defender there, Tyler Tingley, in front of the net. They're trying to kind of screen Bartholomew's eyes up here and get that bang-bang play to goes through the legs or bounces off a stick into the back of the net. And really some solid cycling there from the Chippewas. They just really didn't get the shot on net there like they wanted to. Another key face-off lost there by Nadeau.
And here they're unable to keep the puck in at the line as it was skied over Charlie Hayes. Now back at center. Here's Morgan over the line. Morgan holds up in the circle, pinwheels, works it up top to Nadeau, and near side for Hayes. He'll let a shot go, save, and the rebound will skitter into the corner. Nadeau picks up the puck, but it skipped under his stick, and will move back out to center. A frustrating first 40 seconds of the power play for Central Michigan.
Yeah, and that's one where Nadeau's trying to predict the play as it's happening. He's not looking down at where the puck is under his blade, and lets that one go through.
Look out, here's Camara. Camara into the right corner, works behind the goal. Feeds it up top there for Christopher Martin. Back down low for Camara. Camara works up top, sends it near side for Bottles, and he moved it to Martin. Sent it down low, puck battle in front, comes free to the near corner. Christopher Martin working in. 43 to go, and the too many men on the ice, Minor. Now look out, Rychuk worked it free in the slot, sent it across. Here's a shot that was knocked up in the air. Another chance, oh, and he rang it off the iron. Did Nathan Bottles, looking for his first ACHA goal.
A great forecheck for this Porzondik in line. And these guys really are getting as many rebounds as they want. Bartholomew's getting the shots he likes that don't have as much power. But that was a great play by Rychuk to look for the one-time feed there. Got the puck over to his forward for Bottles and had a nice shot, just couldn't get it through. And how about Porzondik on the second chance off the iron? They keep doing that. They're going to put this one in the back of the net soon.
Nadeau pickpocketed his man at center ice and will weave the puck into the offensive end. He sends it near side to Martin. Martin fires a shot that skittered through the blocker of Bartholomew, but it skittered harmlessly away. Power play over for the Chippewas. They're 0 for 2 on the evening. 11-11 to go here in the opening period. Central Michigan and Ferris State. Ferris State leading 1-0 off of an early goal by Ty Schiff. Reagan Cleaves inside the broadcast booth with you on play-by-play. Devin Sarah on color from Ewigleben Ice Arena in Big Rapids. Puck is cleared into the Central Michigan end. Isaac Gibbs back there to play it for CMU. We'll play it across for Clements. Clements trying to find his man Siraki, but it was gloved down there by a great Bulldog play. Here's Siraki trying to move it on forward. It was too far for his intended man, so Benner will pick it up. Benner moves it out to center ice for Zach Knoll. Knoll fed it on ahead. This will be icing against the Bulldogs with 9:38 to go, or 9:38 gone here in the opening period.
Yeah, a lot of uncoordinated play going on for the Bulldogs. They're really getting this puck out to center ice, but they're missing on the one-touch passes here. It's allowing the Chippewas to reset and really find themselves in a position to control the play. As they have for most of this period, the Bulldogs just got a good early goal off of 2 tough penalties for the Chippewas on the 5-on-3. But right now, they're looking strong here back inside the Bulldog attack zone.
One thing that we were hoping Central Michigan would have been a little better at this year was that discipline. It was troublesome for them last year, especially in regards of game penalties. Now, Bulldogs on the attack. It was shut off momentarily, but the puck on an errant pass goes free behind. Ritter lost an edge, but was able to move it to Luke Wild before he got drilled. And here comes Julian Johnson. Moved it near side for right chunk. It was just too far for him on side of the Chippewas, but they can't seem to find the 3-inch wide piece of rubber. Into the offensive end here for the Bulldogs. The other way, here's Ferris. His pass into the slot, intercepted by Ritter. Austin Ritter will move up ice over the Bulldog logo and move it to the offensive end under halfway through this opening period from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Getting bumped at center there was Camara, and the Bulldogs have control. Over the line, left side, here comes Hank Young. Fed it out in front. It was too high for anybody to do anything with it legally. And the Chippewas move it out to center ice.
That's a pretty good screen there by the Chippewas. All the defenders really on one side of the ice, but the Bulldogs don't take advantage of that shifting defense. They really didn't have anyone on the other side of the attacking zone to make anything happen, and that's what happens with kind of uncoordinated play. They don't really look like they have a 4-man to shoot the puck right now, and the Chippewas need to take advantage of that and get it going the other way.
Camara intercepted the pass at center ice and ripped it around the boards. Bartholomew out of his net to play it. Went off his defenseman, and it was cleared. Kept in there by Camara. Camara throws it down into the slot. It was blocked by the Bulldogs, and it comes free into the near side half wall. Camara up at the right point. Left it there for Morgan. Going to be kept in there by Camara at the right point, and the Bulldogs will take control. Though it bounces around at center after an errant pass. Bulldogs back on their own end to our right. 8:21 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Ferris State. Shane Adu trying to battle for it at neutral ice. Loses a glove. And the puck is somewhere in it. And I think the puck is actually in the glove. How often do you see that? Glove falls off and we've got a stoppage of play.
Fans, don't forget that the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for CMU D3 hockey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as to never miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. Just go to YouTube and search CMU Club Hockey Network to find the channel.
We are live here on CCHN. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Serra inside the broadcast booth for you here this afternoon. Just an hour east or hour west of Mount Pleasant along M20. We got a hand pass being called against Central Michigan, but it's going to be, or pardon me, against Ferris State. So via ACHA rules, it's going to move back into their own end to the left of Hunter Bartholomew. 7:45 to go here in the opening period. Central Michigan trailing 1-0 to Ferris State here on the road. Chippewas trying to win a season opener on the road for the first time in their history. Previous attempts have been at Davenport in their first season against Purdue back in 16-17 and against the University of Michigan back in that COVID year in 2020-21. Have not won on the road to open a season. Trying to break that streak here.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs, 7 of their first 15 or 13 wins last season came at home. So they a little bit favor this ice more than others in their play. But right now, I think it's really all been CMU's game so far. Just have missed on these one-touch passes. Look out.
Here's O'Connor feeding it across there to Puraleski. Puraleski trying to feed it back out in front, but it was intercepted here by Ritter. Ritter will skate through center ice across the line. He'll step into a wrist shot. It went wide and carried off the end boards. Julian Johnson pitching in. Look out, the Bulldogs might have a 2-on-1, but great job there from Christopher Martin to cut that off.
Really good positioning by the Chippewas. They're attacking when they can.
Here's Johnson from a sharp angle, saved by Bartholomew. Rebound behind the net. It comes free on the near side. Right check trying to feed it out in front. Loose puck in the slot. And the Bulldogs are able to get it past. Look out, they got a 2-on-0 here. Here's Schmidt in alone on Jones' back door. And no! They kept the puck out of the net. Somehow Lauren Jones came back.
I think they might be calling this one back because the net actually came off its postings. But we'll have to see in a second here, Reagan. It looks like the referee's still going to talk about it maybe for a moment.
Referee immediately waved it off down to the left corner here.
He did stop that puck.
And I think actually the puck went in, but the net was off its moorings, so they blow the whistle as a stoppage of play. And CMU escapes a scary 2-on-0.
That is a lucky break. You know, the Chippewas got caught trying to pick up the stick with the lone defender back, and the Bulldogs took advantage of a 2-on-0, just couldn't finish the job. That's an uncanny mistake by the Chippewas. They need to have more pace there. We talked about good positioning. That was an example of what not to have right there with one defender back.
And Austin Ritter allowed that 2-on-0 to happen, as here's a shot and a save by Bartholomew, resulting in a stoppage of play with 5:57 to go. But Austin Ritter stepped in from that blue line to try and keep that puck in. He was already a good 10 feet out of the zone. If he stays back, that 2-on-0 does not develop, and Lauren Jones isn't forced to make that save.
Well, we also have to remember, Reagan, Ritter is playing back at defense for the injured Braden Kibb. So Ritter, even though he played on defense last season, still a forward at heart, really doesn't have maybe that experienced positioning that a lot of defenders do.
Look out, here's Nadeau intercepting a pass at neutral ice. Isaac Gibbs picks up the loose puck behind the net out in front. Nadeau able to get a hold on it. Here's Morgan, drop pass for Nadeau, and it's eventually picked up here by Schmidt, who was foiled on that 2-on-0. Now here come the Bulldogs. Piraleski over the line, dropped it back there for Newton. Newton tried to put it back for Piraleski, but he dropped the puck. Kept into the line there by Rivard at the right point. Getting it back there is Zach Knoll. Will send it to the near side for Cundiff, but his pass was intercepted. Here's Isaac Gibbs the other way, the leading goal scorer from a year ago for the Chippewas. Tries to get around the defense. He's taken down. And no penalty going to come of it. Oh, and that's going to be a penalty as Isaac Gibbs got tossed down there by, I believe that's Avery Rivard. And with 5:04 to go, the Chippewas getting a power play, their third of the evening.
Yeah, that's really undisciplined play there from the Bulldogs, but really that opportunity didn't come. Gibbs had a awesome feed in front for Jay Nadeau. Just a step behind Nadeau was getting into the slot area. That's one of those things where the Chippewas have to pick up their pace and consistently in the forecheck. Have the positioning out there, ready to go with the shot, not turning around. If Nadeau's already ready to shoot that a half a second later, this one could be in the back of the net. Nonetheless, they will have the power play coming up.
0 for 2 on the evening. Chippewas had a 19% power play last season, looking to improve on that this year. That won't help, though, as a pass was intercepted and cleared the length of the ice there by Sean O'Connor. That'll kill off about 10 seconds before the Chippewas can gain control, but here they look to move out. Here's Camara. Scooting through center ice, sends it near side. Nadeau over the line. Nadeau moves past the defenseman. Look out, a shot and a save there by Bartholomew on Morgan, who was wide open in the left circle, but he couldn't find a hole past Bartholomew. And with 4:40 to go, we'll have a draw to the right of the Ferris State netminder.
And that's actually not a bad shot by Morgan there, but he just needs to look for that one more read. Nadeau is streaking right there by the right circle, and he has an open net. If he just makes that one more read, the Chippewas have a goal. So they're just one step away, one finishing play from getting this puck in the back of the net, and that's the difference right now.
Here's Jay Nadeau working the breakout for the Maroon and going left to right here in the final 5 minutes of this opening period of play. They trail 1-0, trying to get back even here on this man advantage. They've got 70 seconds left on that. Here's Morgan tied up in the right corner. He eventually works it free for Ben Rychuk. Rychuk trying to get it up to the point for Camara, but it was sent the length of the ice, and Rychuk gets up. Talking there with the man who he went down with, Brendan Carr. 45 to go in the opening period. Here it comes for the Chippewas. Nathan Bottles over the line right side. He'll chase the puck on a dump and chase. Ian Keelan Baker worked there for the maroon and gold. Pass up to the point, it bounces, and the Chippewas have it. Here's Bottles, hesitates, fires a shot, saved by Bartholomew, and it's underneath him, and down goes Porzondik, getting tied up with the Bulldog. Porzondik wanting a tripping call on Tyler Tingley, but he's not going to get one.
And that was a calculated shot there by the new forward Bottles, the transfer from Arcadia University's NCAA D3 team. He kind of put this like a knuckleball, kind of letting Porzondik tip that puck in front, trying to uncoordinate Bartholomew from the easy scoop below his pads. We talked about in the pregame show just before this started how they need to get the puck low and below his pads. They shoot it up high, Bartholomew's got it all day, but if they shoot it low, it might squeak through. That's what he's trying to do there.
Here's Keelan Baker throwing it down low on the redirect. Saved by Bartholomew, rebound. Taken here by Porzondik. 3:08 to go. Fans, don't forget to stay with us on the intermission report brought to you by SeamishIceHockey.com. Here's a shot there by Isaac Gibbs, and seeing it all the way and snagging it with the left catching glove was Hunter Bartholomew.
Yeah, and the patience is thin right now for the Chippewas. They recognize that they have control of this game, really maintaining the position and the possession of the puck. They're just not making that final read to look at their open defenders, not spreading the ice out like they need to, but it's really not a bad shot for Gibbs when the power play is about to end.
Power play is ended. Out of the box comes number 42, Colton King. Here's Clements with a slot shot, and Bartholomew makes the save, and a dog pile ensues around the Bulldog netminder, and Rychuk trying to go for a rebound, and he gets mauled by some of the Bulldogs there. He getting up and he's talking with some of the officials here, maybe wanting a penalty, but he's not going to get one.
Yeah, and I think this is intentional by the Bulldogs. If they did their film study, they would know Ben Rychuk was the leading penalty getter for the Chippewas last season, and the Chippewas really were one of the worst in the league when it comes to penalty minutes. That's something Tyler Cataline was trying to fix with this team and have more discipline for this squad coming into this year. Right now they look like that so far, but the Bulldogs doing everything they can to get into the head of that forward defender, I would call him, is Rychuk. Always trying to bang in front of the netminders. Give him a hard time. He's a big body, a military guy, and can really push around defenders.
Certainly. Here come the Bulldogs the other way over the line. Here's a shot saved by Jones, but he got the rebound out right in front of him. Lucky for him, it was a maroon and gold jersey was there to scoop it up, and Charlie Hayes. It's moved along ahead to Julian Johnson, sent into the middle for Rychuk. Rychuk putting it on goal. Bartholomew has it beneath his pads. And now Rychuk getting pushed around again. My goodness, Rychuk's just a ragdoll out there
He
right
does it
now.
to himself. We'll say that. He does it to himself.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong with that. He's crashing the net on a loose puck, and the Bulldogs just treat him like a
leaving off right where we
there.
left off. Always making it tough for those defenders and netminders.
Benny Rychuk loves getting
Who's
into
getting
those.
in whose head? That's what we really should ask here. Is it
Ben-
the goaltender? Is it us? Is it him?
Rychuk's probably getting in the head of the Bulldogs right now. Rychuk just loves to get into the dirty areas, mess with the opponent's minds, and something he loves to do, and he's doing it quite well.
That's why he's
early.
one of my favorites.
And I'm going to bet you that Rychuk had a smile on his face getting shoved around down there because he knows he's gotten in the head of the Bulldogs. Jay Nadeau taking his man into the boards. Morgan in there for Central Michigan here. Morgan taken down, no penalties. He just lost an edge with a man on him. Across the way the Bulldogs take it in their own end and clear it out. That's got to be a penalty. Oh, come on. Morgan just got tripped at center ice going after the puck, and referees kept their arms down. Here's Jay Nadeau over the Bulldog logo at center ice across the line. Dropped it off for Gibbs. Look, got a shot. Oh, and he ripped it just wide on the near side. 1:40 to go here in the opening period of play. 1-0. The Bulldogs lead it here from Ewigleben Ice Arena in Big Rapids.
And, Gibbs is really targeting that left post, trying to go up top and get it past Bartholomew with that hard shot, but just missed it once again. Gibbs will find his stride here soon, and look out.
Here's Gibbs over the line, lost the puck, and the Bulldogs come away with it. At neutral ice, here's Snow. Up the right wing, across the line, will work in a shot, and ripped it high. A minute in the corner left here in the opening period. Taking it there is Camara. Camara rims it around the boards. Across the way, working in here is Sean O'Connor. 60 seconds to go in the first period of the 2022-23 campaign. Here's a long shot blocked there, and that's going to draw a penalty as Isaac Gibbs took his man down, and rightfully so. He tripped Luke Snow in the follow-through from that block, so the Bulldogs are going to go on the power play here at 19-12.
Yeah, Gibbs takes the penalty there, but really the play kind of developed there from the struggling defender, Austin Ritter. He really was back in his own zone, deep in the trapezoid, trying to get to this puck, but I don't know if he looks tired or just frustrated, uncoordinated, not able to get this puck clear to the zone. It comes back, blocked at the blue line, and they keep the play going. It results in an untimely penalty for Gibbs. That's just the frustration and what happens when you miss players due to injury.
Now here's a shot there by the Bulldogs. Knoll went wide, kept him though at the right point of the rebound. Benner slides it down low and around to the near side for Newton. Newton let it go by him up top for Knoll. Knoll at the left point, let's step out and fire his shot. Julian Johnson tried to knock it down, unsuccessful. They feed it out in front, and a good save there by Jones. Chippewas clear to the line, but not out. Kept in there by Benner. Benner sent it to the near side, and it's tipped out there by Siraki. 18 seconds to go here in the opening period. Bulldogs leading at 1-0. Time for one last rush. Over the line, here's Knoll. Cutting to the right circle, a shot. That took a deflection wide. 7 seconds to go, and the Chippewas take it, clear it down the ice with under 5 to go. That will do it for the opening period. A penalty-filled first 20 minutes here from Ewigleben Ice Arena. We'll step aside. Devin Sarah will have the intermission report for you on the other side. You're watching Central Michigan University D3 Club Hockey on CCHN.
Back inside Ewigleben Ice Arena for this first intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com leaves us at a 1-0 score in favor of Ferris State. A good start for the Bulldogs comes from untimely penalties costing the Chippewas early in this one. I am Devin Serra here for the intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com, and we have a number of things to talk about in this one. The Ferris State Bulldogs really looked like the team that was being outplayed by the Chippewas early, with the Chippewas getting the majority of shots in this one, 16-7 in favor of CMU to start this game. However, it's the Bulldogs who answer first off the blade of Schiff. For the Bulldogs, that's Ty Schiff, number 23, the defenseman. He gets the Bulldogs' first goal of the season in the MCHC. Gets them started at 4:28 of the first, assisted there by number 6, Tyler Skiles. And really it came from a 5-on-3 penalty taken by Ben Rydchuk, which was followed by Julian Johnson after a slashing penalty. So both those penalties are occurring immediately after each other. It allowed for a 5-on-3 opportunity, and Schiff was able to bang it home past Lawrence Jones. First shot, first goal of the game from the low slot area. So even though the Bulldogs answer, this really has been the Chippewas period. Outpacing the Bulldogs on both sides of the ice. They blocked shots in front of Lawrence Jones, only allowing the 7 shots as I mentioned, but the key in this one has been the Chippewas have been just a half step behind. They've gotten into the attacking zones when they've needed to and set up the play nice by cycling the puck, looking for those reads. They just haven't been able to get this puck low on the goaltender, Bartholomew, who's really played stout through this first couple periods. We talked about in the pregame show that in order to score on a goaltender like Bartholomew, who's great as a senior, you have to shoot the puck low on him. You have to get everything low, get him down to his knees, and trying to block this with his knee pads. If you leave pucks up into the air with either his blocker hand or his glove hand, it makes it a lot easier for him to scoop these up. So really the Bulldogs trusting their goaltender, who's played phenomenal, but it's more the Chippewas just one step behind. Notable players from this period included the 19 of Isaac Gibbs. Had a couple of great shots and good looks, just hasn't been able to bang it home. One of those pucks came off the iron off of Andrew Porzondik's stick on a rebound from Isaac Gibbs' shot. And Jay Need, who's been in the mix as well to score a couple goals, just hasn't really seen the look that he's needed in the low slot. Been a little bit of a last look, half second too late getting to the play. We'll see if the Chippewas can correct throughout this one. As for our other scoreboards, the only other game going on in the MCHC currently tonight is between Oakland University and Notre Dame. Oakland finished 6th last year in the MCHC West. A tough outing for them. The transfer Tyler Martin from their team, the extra forward for the Chippewas tonight. They're playing action at Compton Ice Arena in South Bend, Indiana, against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Irish, coming off of a great season, went to nationals last year, went all the way to their pool play final game against Arkansas University, and Arkansas scored in double overtime to advance to the national championship semifinal. So Notre Dame, a really stout team, looking for maybe a tune-up game against Oakland and a good test for the Golden Grizzlies. That game took place at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Compton Ice Arena. We do not have a score update for you at the moment, but we could in the post-game show, for stay tuned for that. As for our CMU Athletics action, the Eastern Michigan Eagles played the Chippewas in soccer. That one ended in a 1-1 tie. Field hockey lost to Appalachian State 7-1 in their contest earlier today. Volleyball was in action tomorrow at 6 p.m. versus Ball State. You can catch that game on the Chippewa Sports Network, as well as football coming on at noontime against Penn State on the road. The Chippewas looking to answer after a dominating win over the Bucknell football team last weekend. A couple of great games in action for CMU Athletics, and this one continues as we continue on here from Ewigleben Ice Arena. This was your first intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com. We'll be back for second period action here momentarily and resume Reagan Klee's call. Stay tuned, everybody.
Oh, wait. Both teams are back on the ice here at Ewigleben Ice Arena in Big Rapids, and we're set to go for the middle frame of hockey. 5-on-4 for the next 1 minute and 12 seconds as Isaac Gibbs serves out his time on a tripping penalty he took late in that period. The Bulldogs looking to go to work here. Already 1 for 2. Their only goal of the game coming on that power play. 15 seconds already gone, though. The Chippewas can't clear it. Now look out. Here's Nathan Bottles poking the puck free. Is away shorthanded. One man to beat. Pulls up and fires a shot on a beautiful glove save there by Hunter Bartholomew. We talked about with Joel Drucker before the show that Bartholomew is going to be hard to beat up top. Watching him in warm-ups, he was snagging a lot of stuff up top, making quick saves, showing good reactions with both of his hands. So the Chippewas have got to try to beat him low between the pillows if they're gonna go on him here tonight.
Yeah, and Bottles really showing off the pace there, getting to the puck short-handed. Had a decent short on net, I thought. He was just screened really well there by Sean O'Connor. Probably didn't get where he wanted exactly in the top corners past Bartholomew, but a great short-handed effort here by the Chippewas.
Yeah, good job keeping the puck in. They've killed off a further 20 seconds since that face-off.
And Reagan, you know as well as I do that the Chippewas were one of the best penalty kill teams in the ACHA last season. Met up with Keegan Moore, Ben Rydchuk, and Austin Ritter. This is a different penalty kill group out here right now with the likes of Jay Nadeau, Keelan Baker, but so far they're making it tough. And look out, here's the offense.
Nadeau gets to the puck in the left side, feeds it up, and that's off the back, and oh my goodness, how did that stay out? And getting shoved into the net there was Connor Morgan. Great job by him getting in behind the net. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Yeah, that was a bang-bang play there from Jay Nadeau down low to Connor Morgan. He was just trying to keep it low past Bartholomew and really just jam it home. Get sort of a dirty goal past him, but he just didn't lift the puck like he wanted to, and then he got pushed into the net.
You know what, Devin? I think that Bartholomew pulled an Andrei Vasilevsky, turning around and batting the puck with his glove behind his back and out of the goal.
Well, if he did that, that is the save of the year. No pun intended because it's the first game, right? But what a stop still, though.
Some really good goaltending work there from the Ferris State netminder, the senior, wearing number 30 here tonight, decked out in those red pads with gold and black trim.
But that's the intensity you like from the Chips because they are moving this play forward, getting it on net.
Now here's Morgan on a shot blocked in the rebound. Nadeau manhandled down to the ice.
Oh, that's going to be...
And it's going to be interference here
interference
on
all day.
Jordan Schmidt. So the Chippewas 0 for 3 in that opening period on power plays.
Schmidt moved Nadeau all the way out of the play, but he just got him too much up high and really moved away his mobility. That was the difference in that, holding on him. So the Chippewas go to another power play in this one. This is a major power play, and they have to set the tempo in this period right here with this power play.
Now, when you see a WWE-style tackle on the ice, it's probably not going to go uncalled. And that's exactly what we saw there. That one is face-off, though, was won by the Bulldogs and dumped the length of the ice. Jones on a miscommunication with Gibbs on the dump. Put it the wrong way of the Central Michigan forward.
Yeah, and that's an uncanny mistake, but that's just what happens with a new team. When you get a new roster, a lot of the chemistry has to build. It doesn't just come right away. The Chippewas have had a great last month and a half of practice as per head coach Tyler Cataline, but those are the mistakes that are common right now with a brand new team, as we should call it, with 9 and 10 new skaters for them.
Chippewas playing catch in their defensive end. Out comes Nathan Muddles down the left wing. Across the line and around the outside of the circle. Pulls it out in front, back door, they score! Kaylin Baker, the captain, ties up the hockey game on the power play. And the Chippewas are back even here at 2:23.
And that was great presence by Bottles to move behind the net, get those defenders shifting and out of position. It left Keelan Baker wide open in the slot to just bang this one past the blocker side of Bartholomew. That is a wonderful power play. We just talked about they need to get that goal, move the intensity. They just did that one. It's a 1-1 tie.
Way to go, Central Michigan on the power play. It took them 4 tries, but they finally got a power play goal, and they finally have cracked the Bartholomew puzzle.
And Bartholomew is now being such a good player. You're going to find out this season that he has that uncanny ability to draw defenders away with that speed and vision of the ice, and using his vision to find Baker in that slot area. That has to excite you as a Chippewa fan to see a player like that coming from a high level of hockey at NCAA Division III to give a strong offensive presence for the Chippewas.
And Nathan Bottles, a really good pass to find Baker on the back door. Now look out. Ooh, that one beat Jones high and wide, but no. Another shot from the left point was rimmed around. To the near side, Ty Schiff scooping in. Puck free comes to the far side. Camara after it for the Chippewas. He's able to get it forward to Luke Wild, who shoveled it through neutral ice. Picking it up there is Luke Wild. Sophomore out of Detroit Catholic Central. Didn't play a ton last year. Now he's got the puck at the side of the net. Comes free to the far side. It's rimmed around the boards. Julian Johnson on the near side. Opted to let it go past him, and now look out. Beating Austin Ritter, here's Pieroleski. Pieroleski down the right side. Feeding it into the slot, and a great play there by Austin Ritter to cut that off.
Yeah, and streaking back to get that one was actually Christopher Martin, getting the knee down, defending off that 2-on-1 brilliantly. And that's the kind of stuff the Chippewas were talking about, limiting the shots to Lauren Jones. An excellent play by the assistant captain.
Now puck free back in the Bulldogs' end. They pick it up, going left to right here in the second period, wearing those white jerseys with maroon, with red and gold trim. Here's Isaac Gibbs down the right side and into the corner. Lost the puck to the stick of Chase Adams. And there's a long shot from the right point there by Martin. It's skittered wide, and another opportunity out in front for CMU doesn't go.
Yeah, Nadeau and Gibbs trying to connect there. This is really the duo on this line that's producing much of the offense. They just haven't connected for that last touch, as we've talked about so much throughout this game. They're just a half step away from getting another goal here on the Bulldogs.
So it didn't take Bottles long to register his first point in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Just 22 minutes and 43 seconds in a Chippewa uniform is all it took. Now look out. Gibbs intercepted a pass at neutral ice. Look out at 2-on-2. He'll cut into the left circle. Got a shot of Bartholomew. Rebound out in front. They score! Connor Morgan! His first goal is a Chippewa. And CMU has scored 2 goals in a matter of a couple of minutes. And they're up by 1.
Bingo. Isaac Gibbs with the turnover, comes back, joining the rush there. Connor Morgan picks up his rebound and just bangs that home. That's what that intensity does. When you move the play up into the Bulldog zone, you create that intensity, get those shots on net, and look for those rebounds. Good stuff happens in front. Getting those down low goals on Bartholomew. An excellent start for the Chippewas to this second period.
Connor Morgan, a great backdoor play. Bartholomew made the initial save, but it popped right out in the slot where Morgan was waiting for it. And now look out, Porzondika's shot on a one-timer there. From a pass from Nathan Muddles. And Bartholomew's forced to make the save.
Yeah, and Connor Morgan, the freshman from Waterford, Michigan, played at a really stout high school program in Orchard Lake St. Mary's, also with Sam Camara joining the Chippewas. And that team went all the way to the finale of high school hockey in their Division III play. So a really great forward that played on a great high school club, showing his experience right there and sticking with the play.
Pieroleski tried to split the Chippewa defense, lost the puck in the process, but it's loose in the Chippewa end. Porzondik trying to feed it on ahead. He eventually got it ahead to Bottles. Bottles sent it to the near side for Siraki. Siraki tied it behind the net with Bottles and Samuel Benner. Bulldogs working 2-on-2. Benner lost his stick. They get it out in front. Oh, Porzondik couldn't handle it. Good keep there by Clements. Clements with the long locks working out behind his helmet. Skates into the left half wall. Throws it down low for Siraki. Back to Clements in the left circle. He got tied up, though, with Bottles. Here's Siraki out in front for Bottles. Lost control of the puck, and the Bulldogs pick up the puck and come back the other way. Here's Sean O'Connor over the line. O'Connor working in, a shot blocked, and it will rim around to the near side. Charlie Hayes flips it too far for Nathan Bottles, but Bottles knocks a puck down at center. Will flip it down in on Bartholomew, and the Bulldogs will control.
The Chippewas finally really moving their feet in this game. They're taking away of the Bulldogs defenders that are really standing around like pawns as lookout. Oh, that could have been a penalty there
play
for
there
Flynn.
by the Chippewas. Hayden Flynn getting on the ice for first time this season. He's got the puck behind the net out there with Ben Reichek and Julian Johnson on the forward line for Central Michigan.
But the missed touches by the Bulldogs have been taken advantage of. That was one of our keys of the game, was CMU had to take advantage of the mistakes. They did that on the turnover goal there by Morgan from Gibbs. And right now they're moving the intensity, moving their feet excellently, playing with the tempo that they want to. They are in control of this game right now.
Central Michigan has been in control of this game since killing off that Isaac Gibbs penalty early on in this period. Rychuk knocked on a pass at neutral ice. It was intercepted, and his pass in turn was intercepted by Karn and dumped into the Chippewa end to our right. 7.5 minutes gone here in the second period of play from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Serra on the call. Liam Lang working the camera. Matt Ryder, our producer. It's rimmed around the boards in the Chippewa end. Back there to play it is Sam Camara, and trying to line up a hit on Camara was a Bulldog, and he got the worst end of it. Now it's worked up top for Rivard. Rivard plays it down low, back up top to the left side for Schiff. He'll fire it wide. 11:55 to go here in the second. Good Bulldog pressure here. Here's Schiff. He'll feed it back door, and a great cutoff there by Camara. Lead pass ahead to Isaac Gibbs. Will take it over the line and dump it in. 11:42 to go here in the second period. Chippewas have scored 2 in this middle frame and lead it 2-1 after conceding the first goal of the contest. Now taking his man down behind the net was Schmidt. It comes free. Nadu picks it up. Nadu works it up top for Camara. Left point, long shot. Redirected out in front there by Morgan. Gibbs gets to it first. Plays it around behind the boards. Schmidt there against Nadu and Morgan. Schmidt was able to win it and get it out to neutral ice with help from his teammate. And Camara will play it back in his own end. Little miscommunication there. Look out with Christopher Martin. Puck comes free, and trying to kick the puck out of the zone was Jay Nadu. He falls down, and a shot and a save there by Lauren Jones. 9 minutes and 10 seconds gone here in the opening, here in period number 2. CMU and Ferris State battling it out for the first time since 2020.
And you know what I've noticed, Reagan, is Connor Morgan is getting a lot more ice time now, and he looks so much like a perennial forward in Keegan Moore. That small, nimble presence can move the puck fast and still be physical even as a short body. And that's something that has to impress you as a Chippewa fan, because the Chippewas desperately need guys that can pick up the tempo and play with speed, and he does that. And you can tell he picks up a certain intensity out there on the ice, and that's what you love to see as a new player to a squad.
Here's Andrew Porzondik working the puck free, slides it across to Siraki. Siraki working down the right wing, out in front, trying to find Porzondik on the back door, couldn't work. Now, that puck goes up and out of play. Austin Ritter coming together with Luke Snow here with 10 minutes left in the second period.
The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV.
Christopher Martin working down from the right point to keep that puck in. Down goes a Bulldog. No penalty coming. Ritter keeps it at the left point. Shot was blocked there by Colton Cundiff, and it laid on his stick. Now that's could be interference, but referees have been letting them play here. Taking the puck over the line. Here is Fuller. Fuller into the right corner. 10:30 gone here in this second period. Behind the net, the Chippewas are able to work it free and send it the length of the ice. This will go for icing with 9:16 to go here in this second period. And you know, Devin, this second period has been a lot better for CMU, and I think it's because they aren't taking any inane penalties. CMU is doing a really good job of staying composed, not making any stupid, silly mistakes, and that's allowed them to score those 2 goals and get it past Bartholomew.
Well, certainly, and penalties have been an issue for the Chippewas that they wanted to correct. As I mentioned in the pregame show, head coach Tyler Cataline talked about keeping this team more disciplined, and when they were in those little scrums last year after the whistles that resulted in penalties and led to interference calls from cross-checks, that's a different story of this second period. They definitely talked in the locker room about not taking those terrible penalties. They've done that so far and kept themselves composed in this one, and you see it on the ice is with the leading scorer right now. Look out.
Here's Schiff, a shot from the right point that was knocked down. Lauren Jones is able to make that save. Now the puck lays free, and here come the Chippewas. Here's Austin Ritter trying to skate through the defense. He eventually works the puck free into the near side. Oh, take a spill going into the boards. And he gets back up, no worse for wear. And the Bulldogs will take it and dump it the length of the ice. And icing will be the result.
And a lot of times with a brand new team, you can see sort of frustration issues get to new players. You can see guys take those slashes when they don't need to. But like you said, the composure level is something they've focused on. It's something they've talked about time and time again that they wanted to correct. They've done that, and they've limited penalties in this period, showing all their effort with the goals and instead of crossing someone in the back.
Puck bounces free. Here's Clemens stepping into a shot that was blocked in the right circle, and here comes Ferris State the other way. I head on left wing to Karn over the line. Karn will work into the circle, and a backhand shot was lifted wide. Now here's Banner Eichuk. Oh, he gets shoved to the ice, and Ferris State riling up the crowd here at Ewigleben. Here's Puralescu. Look out, a 3-on-1. Into the left corner, O'Connor picks up the loose puck. Clements was able to put the body on him and work the puck free.
Right, and the Chips were lucky on that play. The Bulldogs missed. Clements was a step behind getting back to the play. All they had back there was Charlie Hayes to defend, but luckily they missed on the one-touch pass and getting this back to the boards.
Charlie Hayes back there defensively for CMU on that 3-on-1. Got a little bit one-sided in his mind. Only covered half the ice, and now Johnson will take it and dump it, but the Bulldogs are able to get to it before icing is called. 7:17 to go here in the second period. CMU with 2 goals in the second period have jumped out to a 2-1 lead. Here's Porzondik along the outside of the left circle, tries the wraparound on Bartholomew. Couldn't tuck it inside the right post.
Porzonic with so much speed streaks in past 3 defenders. We saw him do this time and time again during the MCHC playoffs last year, having a number of goals against Adrian, Lawrence Tech. You have to love the junior forward, Andrew Porzonic from Macomb, Michigan, doing what he does best, really controlling the play, turning defenders around, getting in that inside positioning, and almost had the wraparound there on Bartholomew. That's something Chippewa fans can be excited about and expect much more of from Porzonic this year.
Porzonic, a big contributor for CMU, one of the top 6 scoring Chippewas last year that didn't move on. Only 2 of the top 6 remain, and that's Isaac Gibbs and Andrew Porzonic. This will go for icing against the Chippewas, and that'll result, Devin, in another face-off opportunity, and that's something we've seen all night, those face-off wars in the circles, and the Chippewas are really feeling the loss of Joey Simoncelli.
Yeah, a notable forward gone for them, and he was one of those face-off guys that would win around the 60-65% mark, was consistent for them always, got them the face-off draws when they needed it, not just in the attacking zone, but their own, and right now you see taking the face-off there for them, the 13 of Nathan Bottles has lost a couple of draws tonight. That'll be something he needs to work on as the year goes on, and I'm sure he will address it during these practice sessions.
6:20 to go in the middle frame. We're more than halfway through this season opener for the 10th season of Chippewa hockey. That's going to be all for you here on CCHN. Now look out, Bottles on a 2-on-1, fires a shot, saving the rebound, lays in the slot. Gibbs can't get to it in time, but Porzanic picked the pocket. He'll work into the circle, a shot, and he ripped it high. Keelan Baker has it neutralized, took the finish check. His pass was cut off. Here's Luke Snow across the line, steps into the slot, a shot, and it trickled in just wide of Lauren Jones. Taking it, here's Isaac Gibbs, pass ahead for Nadeau. It was too far for the intended target, and it skipped out to center where the Bulldogs controlled it and flipped it into the offensive end. Battling for it on the near side, Isaac Gibbs, along with a couple of Bulldogs. It's worked free there by Schmidt. Schmidt has it in the high slot, dropped it off there for Cundiff. Cundiff played it down low, there for Knoll. It's worked down in the slot, Knoll trying to feed it out in front, loose puck in the slot. Here's Cundiff after it. Cundiff picks it up, left it there for Schiff, the right point. Schiff rims it around the boards. Schmidt behind the net and fed it out in front, but Keelan Baker doing a good job to clear that puck for CMU.
And one thing I've noticed here is the Bulldogs have not had really a great shot on net in the last 8 or so minutes. As I say that now, they're coming to the attacking zone. Lawrence Jones, a great block in front there from the number 28 of Sam Camara. And this is something that with the goaltender change, we talked about Thomas Rove departing the Chippewas, one of the best goaltenders in the ACHA Division III last season. As a whistle will come up here, Reagan.
It's going to be too many men on the ice on CMU, caught up in a line change as the puck was rimmed around the boards across the way. So a little bit of a
uncanny penalty there, as you could say, Reagan.
Yeah.
And the point I was trying to finish on is Lauren Jones, a second-year goaltender, had one start last season. He's going to need a little bit of work. He's not going to be great just out of the gate. He needs a little bit of help in front, and the Chippewas have done that. They've limited the shots on him. I think we're at now just about 12 shots for the Ferris State Bulldogs. Not too bad for 2 periods of play. And right now they're going to need an extra good penalty kill here to keep this one at a 2-1 advantage.
Bulldogs 1 for 3 on the man advantage here this afternoon. Looking to go to work and maybe tie up this hockey game. Under 5 to go in this second period. Stay with us for the second intermission report. Brought to you by SeamishIceHockey.com. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as well. Bulldogs going to work in the offensive end. Across the way, stepping into it, here's Cundiff. He'll feed it down low. Bulldogs back up top for Cundiff. He'll walk the line. Send it back down the half wall. Cundiff will take it. The CCHA logo and a fluttering one-timer went wide. Here's Schiff behind the net. It'll be sent across for Fairs. Fairs up top for Cundiff. Whole step into a one-timer, but he lost the puck, and a diving clearing attempt there by Julian Johnson is successful. 50 seconds killed on this penalty.
A patient power play so far for the Bulldogs, looking for that second read. The Chippewas are having none of it. They have great positioning so far for their goaltender in front, Lauren Jones.
Well, Bulldogs gain control, working up top here. Snow, a shot through traffic, saving the rebound. Lauren Jones holds onto it with 3:32 to go here in the second period. 49 seconds left on the man advantage.
And that's a good save there for Jones, I should say, because of the redirection attempt from the Bulldogs. They understand, Jones knows this shot is coming from the top of the blue line, and he's going to come to his chest. He just has to control that puck on the second chance opportunity. He does that, wraps it up, and this will be something that, once again, he works on throughout the year, and we'll see where his progression goes with that. But once again, the defense stepping up for the Chippewas in front of him.
Ferris State wins that draw once more. A pass across the ice to the near side. It's worked up top for Snow, right point. Down low, a shot from in tight, and a good save there by Lauren Jones, getting that left pad down on the ice. Snow kept it at the line. A shot was deflected, and Jay Nadeau was able to poke the puck free, and he might have an opportunity if he turns on the Jets here. He goes into the middle. That's got to be a hooking penalty, but none forthcoming.
Yeah, Keelan Baker, though, got the block shot in front there with his stick, redirected that pass, though, and Keelan Baker, the captain, has been stout for them even going back to last year, really settling down their defense and the power plays of other teams, and that's something we're going to have to expect from him to do once again. And even with the departing defender, Brendan Martin, that's going to be extra crucial that he does that at his own post and as a captain.
Here come the Bulldogs back the other way. Here's Newton down the right side. In around behind, Lauren Jones works it up top. Here's a shot and a save by Jones, and it goes up and out of play with 2:27 remaining here in the second period. Last couple of stoppages of play, we've had a bit slow on the on the trigger for stopping the clock. They're being a little bit flippant with it down there, and it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be costing some teams a little bit.
A little bit of jitters the first game. I understand it.
I mean, I completely get it. We had jitters before we came on air, didn't we, Devin?
Everybody's got jitters. You got jitters. He's got jitters. Oprah Winfrey's got jitters, I guess.
Everybody's got the jitters. Here come the Bulldogs. 2-12.
What does that even mean, jitters? I'll be honest.
You know what? I don't know.
Nervousness? I guess so.
I guess it's nervousness, and I think it's more like the shaking that comes along with it. I don't know. Somebody with a dictionary should probably look it up. Under 2 to play here in the second period. CMU have scored 2 in this second. Oh, poor Sondic just stepped into his man inside the line. Big hit there for the maroon and gold forward. Clements rims it around the boards, and look out, here come the Chippewas. Siraki a little bit lazy getting to the puck there at neutral ice. Now look out, here's King in the slot. A shot blocked there by Charlie Hayes.
Yeah, Andrew Siraki, the first-year player out of Northville, Michigan, really had a great year when he did play for them. Had a number of goals on the season for them, 7 goals, 17 or 15 total points there. But as a new player of this squad, again, we talked about the intensity level. That's something you have to see be better, is move that effort up. That was an issue for the Chippewas at times last season. That's something head coach Tyler Cataline's not going to like. And even forward assistant coach Austin Whaley, who mans this forecheck group, he wants to see his forwards, even when they're not on the offensive attack, just make stuff happen at center ice. Clear this puck away, put in that forthright effort. 9 times out of 10, when you put in the extra step effort, more than the defenders, you get this puck out of the way and make some offense happen, and that's something they'll have to address. There's a nice shot there by Ritter.
And Morgan on the rebound. Was denied by Bartholomew. Good opportunity there for the freshman, and decked down to maroon and gold.
And Bartholomew has really allowed a lot of rebounds in this period. It's kind of costed him now on 2 goals. So really, if you're the Chippewas, just keep getting these on net, keep forcing the issue, and once you get that rebound, bang, bang, play, get this one into the back of the net.
Here's Christopher Martin back in his own ad. Takes it and rims it around the boards. Icing will be the call here against Ferris State with 37.5 to go in this second period.
Fans, stay tuned for our intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com as Reagan Cleaves recaps everything happening in this second period, as well as more coming up from this one and highlights the third period. 37 seconds left.
Got a bit of a jocular attitude up here in the broadcast booth here. Liam Lang, our cameraman, dancing around to the music, and I do not blame him one bit. I do exactly that whenever Devin's doing a little bit of talking and I'm not. There's a shot and a good save there by the Chippewa netminder.
That's a Reaganism for you. When I'm talking and he's not. That's a Reaganism for sure. Where are you going to go with that, buddy?
Doesn't happen a lot, I'll tell you that.
Hey, watch it. Watch your coffee later, too. And when you get your Snickers bar during the second period.
I already got my Snickers bar. 19.2 to go here in the second period. CMU up 2-1, 19 seconds to go.
That's a Reagan superstition who didn't know. A coffee and a Snickers bar in the second period.
Hot chocolate pregame.
Oh,
come on. If you're gonna out me about my superstitions, you gotta do it correctly. But puck battle going on in the left circle. Jay Nadu seems to have lost his twig, and he'll go find a replacement. Now look out, turning on the Jets here is Connor Morgan. And coming out to negate that opportunity was Bartholomew as time expires here in the second period. We'll step aside. 2-1 Central Michigan leads at the end of the second period, scoring 2 goals, Baker and Morgan, with Morgan getting his first goal in a Chippewa uniform. We'll recap that and more when we come back here on the CMU Club Hockey Network. Reagan Cleaves back here, radio ringside, inside Ewigleben Ice Arena, recapping period number 2, an eventful one for Central Michigan, as they got 2 goals in a span of about 3 minutes here to open up the first 5 minutes of that second period, and they have themselves at the end of 40 minutes a 2-1 lead here over the Ferris State Bulldogs. Let's take a look at the scoring in that period. After Ty Schiff for the Ferris State Bulldogs had opened up the scoring for this season for the Bulldogs at 4:28 of that first period. The Chippewas got an opportunity on the power play when sent in the box was the captain Schmidt, number 2 for Ferris State, and it was Keelan Baker hooking up with Nathan Bottles on a 2-on-1. Nathan Bottles worked down the left side around the outside of the goal, and he eventually got to the right side of the net where he found Keelan Baker out in front on the back door, and it was an easy tap in for the Central Michigan captain, his first of the campaign, and that tied up the hockey game at 2:43 on the power play for Central Michigan. It was then the freshman's opportunity to get on the scoreboard as Connor Morgan got his first goal as a Chippewa, driving home a rebound in the slot off of a Gibbs shot from the left side, and Bartholomew was taken out of his net with that initial shot, and that led to a wide open net for the freshman, and he jammed it home, giving the Chippewas a 2-1 lead that they would hold on for the final 15 minutes of that second period, and thus have gone into the locker room holding a 1-goal lead over Ferris State here at Ewigleben Ice Arena. Power plays in that second period. The Chippewas were 1 for 1. They improved to 1 for 4 on the evening. Ferris State couldn't do anything with their only one in that period. They now are 1 for 3 on the evening, and I think the Chippewas really did a great job in that second period of eliminating the power play opportunities they gave to Ferris State. They were a little bit lackadaisical in that first period with allowing themselves 2 power plays, and Ferris State capitalized. They got their goal after the Chippewas had killed off a brief 5-second 5-on-3, and still on the ensuing 5-on-4, CMU gave up that goal on a shot on the blocker's side to Ty Schiff. But since then, the Chippewas have locked down both in discipline and on defense. They've been laying out the body for Lauren Jones in only his second start in a Chippewa uniform. He has started to gain confidence, comfortable to playing at the collegiate level after a couple of years in high school. So it's good to see Lauren Jones getting back into the groove of playing goaltender full-time here for Central Michigan University. We'll take a look now at the out-of-town scoreboard now that we've kind of recapped this one here for you through the first 40 minutes. Grand Rapids Griffins begin their season in the American Hockey League with a October 14th opening night against the San Diego Gulls. That is going to be at 7 p.m. at Van Andel Arena. You can watch that game on AHL TV with a paywall behind that, but you can also listen for free on Wood Radio 1300, 106.9 FM, or 96.1 The Game if you're in the Grand Rapids area, or you can listen on iHeartRadio. Both of those stations are iHeart affiliates. Check GriffinsHockey.com for more information. The Detroit Red Wings start their preseason up on September 27th against the Pittsburgh Penguins. You can find more information on that on NHL.com/Red Wings. As for the other team we usually check out here in the out-of-town scoreboard, the Saginaw Spirit open up their season in the Ontario Hockey League next Saturday, October 1st, against the Gloof Storm. They will play 2 games that weekend, the first against Gloof and another one against another opponent on Saturday. That can be found on 100.5 and 790 WSGW for your radio call on that. Well, the Zamboni has about one more lap left to go down below us. We'll pause and take a break, but stay with us. It's the final 20 minutes of this one from Ewigleben coming your way next on CCHN. Both the crimson and gold and the maroon and gold have made their way back onto the ice. Ferris State and CMU separated by 1 goal through 40 minutes of play. Devin, what do you got? You got any thoughts on the first 40 minutes for us?
Yeah, a strong second period after a little bit of sloppy play in the first. They took some bad penalties to start the game. They cleaned that part of their game up. Got 2 goals on Bartholomew in that second period off of rebounds. Good goals there by Morgan. And the point is the Chippewas have done a lot of good things with their offense. They've pushed the intensity. They've really controlled where they control. But the faceoffs have been an issue in this game. They have lost the majority of faceoffs in this game. Bottles has struggled in the circle as well as Nadu. This is something they're going to have to address with the departure of Joey Simoncelli, one of the best faceoff men in the ACHA. But the Chippewas really have been in control of this game, so a solid 40 minutes. Just got to hold on here for the last 20 and maybe get a goal or 2 in here.
Yeah, you mentioned Simoncelli. You forget that freshman Aiden Gazdecki was a really good faceoff man for CMU last year. He transferred out of state and is not playing hockey for CMU as a result. A little bit of a loss in the face-off circle. Now look down, here's Sean O'Connor. Gets past a diving Baker into the shot on Jones. And Lauren Jones stands tall once more, just 28 seconds into this final frame.
Yeah, that was good speed there by the leading goal scorer last season for Ferris State, Sean O'Connor. He had 22, more than double the rest of the team from last year, using his speed and elusiveness. But Lauren Jones, swift with the glove side of his pads to make the stop there. And Lauren has impressed me the latter half of this game. He struggled in the first, gave up the first goal on his first shot, but has calmed down, and his defense has played well in front of him.
Here's O'Connor driving the net from the right side. One is unable to get a shot off. Puck is kept in by Ty Schiff at the right point. Puck is thrown around to the near side. Cundiff rims it around the top of the dasher board. Camara trying to work it free in there with Morgan. Now look out. Camara lost sight of where the Bulldogs were. Now a shot there by O'Connor was just sent wide of the backhand. Now here's Connor Morgan, the freshman, got his first goal in a Chippewa uniform earlier this evening. And right now he's got the go-ahead goal for the Maroon and Gold. Now a shot from the striker angle off the post and the rebound. They score! Nathan Bottles has 2 points on the night. Not only does he have an assist, he's got a goal. We didn't think it would take him long, and it certainly hasn't. 3-1 CMU.
Well, Reagan, our light the lamps connect on that one. Isaac Gibbs and Nathan Bottles, they get put on the same line together after they started separate, and that one is a bang-bang play. Isaac Gibbs, the sharp angle shot, rims off. It sounded like the post, and it came right in front to Bottles there in the low slot area to bang that one home. Bottles first as a Chippewa, 2 points on the night for him. A great effort there on the rebound that Bartholomew struggled with all night.
Gibbs has 2 assists on the evening. Bottles has a goal and an assist. And I think that shot that went off the post from Gibbs caught Bartholomew off guard. He didn't necessarily read where that puck was going to carry him to, and that's why he was kind of startled when it came out in front.
And that's also a tough goal to give up, though, for Bartholomew. You know, it's down low. We talked about that's where the Chippewas wanted to focus, as he's really good with his glove and his blocker. But that still is a tough goal to give up. Not really able to get back across and cover his crease there from Bottles. But a great play for the Chippewas that results in a 3-1 lead.
And that's why you've got to work as a goaltender on getting your stick active. If he's able to direct that puck into the corner, that opportunity for CMU does not evolve into a scoring chance. Now here's Brandon Clements over the line, steps into the circle, a shot. Gloved out of the air there by Bartholomew, but he couldn't get a handle on it, and thus his team has to throw it down the ice.
If you are looking for game reports, stats, schedules, and more, take a trip to CMHIceHockey.com. There you can find those and much more, including player information, recruiting information, apparel, and more. That's CMICHICEHOCKEY.com. Sorry, Reagan.
You just threw me for a loop there, man. Christopher Martin back there to break up a 2-on-1 for Ferris State. You threw me for a loop. We're supposed to do that halfway through the third. And you're doing it 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. I don't mind getting it out of the way because usually we forget it by the time the halfway mark of the third period rolls around. Here's a shot by Flynn, easily gobbled up there.
It's a show, folks, and you can adapt on the fly, too.
I know.
pretty good at that so far. Just like the Chippewas have adjusted and adapted.
Yes, they certainly have adjusted. The first period I talked about in the intermission, Devin, Chippewas were a little bit nonchalant with the penalties, taking a couple of careless fouls that could have been avoided, and that cost them, especially with that Ferris State goal. Now look out, tomahawking the puck into his own bench there was Chase Adams, and we'll have a stoppage of play. Draw will remain in the Ferris State zone. Nope, it's going to come out. My bad.
Yeah, but credits due where credits due, Reagan. They have been exceptional on the penalty kill, and they were as well last season, stopping 100 for 121 and 82.64 penalty kill percentage. And that group was led by Keegan Moore, Ben Rychuk, and Austin Ritter. But it's been a full cast tonight. Keelan Baker's been great on the penalty kill. Charlie Hayes has been there when he's needed to, as well as Sam Camara. So it's really been a full cast effort in this one, which has resulted in a 3-1 lead, keeping the Bulldogs from capitalizing on the Chippewas' mistakes when they've made them, and it's led them to controlling the pace of the game all through, I would say, the last 44 minutes.
Yeah, CMU sense that coming back from the first intermission is a little fire under their rear end. It's given them a little bit of momentum.
A little is a little bit of an understatement, I'd say.
Just a little bit of light out there for all y'all at home.
Two littles add to a lot, Reagan. Would you
They
say
do.
that?
They do. Now over the line, here's Fuller into the right circle. His shot was blocked initially. Shane Adu rims it around the boards. Look out, it took an odd Karam out in front. Fuller there to pick it up. Left it there for Avery Revard. Oh! And Revard got belted into the CMU bench, head over heels, drawing the Chippewa faithful to their feet.
Oh, Austin Ritter likes that one. He was talking to him on the bench there. And as a coaching staff, giving the hand still of motioning, hey, guys, it was a good hit. We'll say that. But listen, get the guy up, have some good sportsmanship, and get him back to his side of the bench
still
where he
means
belongs.
Still means you don't have to ignore a massive hit.
Hey, as the great Sean Bednard would say, the boys are buzzing from that one.
The boys are
We'll
buzzing from that one. Sean Bednard and Tyler Marcotte, the initial two voices of the Chippewas, back starting the Chippewa Hockey Network back in the 15-16 season.
Fans, I'd like to remind you the 10th anniversary season for this rendition of the Division III Chippewas, playing in a season that just a year ago found themselves at Nationals for the third straight year, and Reagan looking for a fourth, as they've been now 4 of the last 6 years.
Yeah, making the national tournament back in 2018, missing out in 19, but coming back strong in 2020. They would have gone on to Dallas had not the COVID pandemic happened. And then the last 2 seasons, 21 and 22, they've been fortunate enough to make it to both Grand Rapids and St. Louis, respectively.
And I don't think, Reagan, we've talked enough about what the expectation was for this team going into the season. Losing 9 seniors and skaters to retirement, Austin Whaley now on the bench for the Chippewas, losing great defenseman, Brendan Martin, obviously the captain, losing your goaltender Thomas Rofe. But the point is the Chippewas still believe and expect a national championship. With these 10 new skaters, they've added some awesome talent. Sam Camara looks like a mini Brenton Martin back in his heyday in his first years as a Chippewa. Nathan Bottles, the transfer Division III NCAA player. This team has the chemistry. If they can put the pieces together, build the intensity, and have everyone stay consistent with their lines and chemistry, boy, look out come March time, because they expect to be at Nationals, and they expect to take down the mighty Hope Dutchmen and move on for a national championship.
And everybody expects to take down Hope.
Easier
all
said
plans
than done,
change
right?
when you take them on the ice.
They've had the Chippewas number in the last 3 contests, Reagan. Getting shut out last year 6-0 in their MCHC semifinal game, and then they met at Nationals in overtime after a heartbreaking loss. So this is a team has a lot to be fired up about, and I'll tell you what, 5th-year head coach Tyler Cataline will preach this the entire season, to be relentless and never give up in this squad.
And it was certainly a theme last season. Never give up, never give in, and it showed late in that season, both in the MCHC tournament and in national tournament pool play, as they avenged losses for the most part against Lawrence Tech in their final regular season game where they got a 5-1 beat down in the hands of the Blue Devils. They defeated them in double overtime at the Midland Civic Center. And then later on in pool play, Rychek broke his stick. In a scrum in the corner.
That one's going to hurt, too. I'm pretty sure his left arm is going to feel a beating after that one. He is not happy.
Then he's got to take it.
Out. Yep, look out. That's going to be a call there.
And that's the Chippewas not keeping composure, and especially with Ben Rychuk, that's been a problem. He has a bit of a temper, and it's shown the last couple of games, and he's not happy whatsoever as he takes a seat in the penalty box, and that could change momentum here in the last 13 minutes.
Yeah, and that's something, head coach Tyler Cataline talked about cleaning up in Ben. The leading penalty getter for the Chippewas last season is when he's in those situations where he gets slashed. He loses a stick. He has to find a way to stay calm. Easier said than done. All hockey players can know and relate that when a guy does something like that to you, it's hard to keep your composure. Obviously going to the box now and returning the Chippewas to a penalty kill, but they've been successful all night. So they'll need another one here.
Ferris State 1 for 3 on the power play. Scored the opening goal on the man advantage. Oh, that was a redirection right in front and went off the goal post. Now another chance out in front, kicked away there and out to the point, but not out. Another shot out from up top, deflected into the corner. There for the Bulldogs. They get it and work it up top. Here's Schmidt to the near side. Zach Knoll at the left point. We'll throw it down low there for Skills. Skills backdoor. Couldn't find Fuller as he found on the one-timer. Now another shot from a sharp angle, and Lauren Jones is able to hold on to that. And
interference, the call there from Ben Rychuk. And Lauren Jones, a good job staying poised in his net. He's really banging away at his stick, redirecting this puck away from his pads. Tyler Tingley's trying to get down low there. Make it frustrating for the defending Christopher Martin. Really got slew-footed there from a no call, but nonetheless, still playing poised in front. And Lauren Jones, really in his second start as a Chippewa, pitched a shutout last season against University of Michigan Flint. So far, I've been really impressed by the second-year goaltender.
Oh, here's a shot from the point. Jones didn't see that until it hit Baker out in front and deflected into the corner. Bulldogs still have control of the puck. Working the puck, here's Knoll. Down low into the right circle. A shot from in tight. It lofted high and over the cage. Getting it back, here's Newton out in front. Bulldogs buzzing here on the power play with 48 seconds to go. Chippewas sacrificing the body here with a couple of block shots through the first minute and 20 of this power play. Here's Newton. Newton in the circle, a shot. And Baker was getting manhandled out in front. Chippewas wanted to call it, didn't get one. Here's a shot. Great block there by Isaac Gibbs. And that'll free Nathan Buttles to come up. And he gets hauled down. And Austin Whaley throwing his arms up in the air, wanting a penalty. He's not going to get one.
Yeah, the referee is really letting them play late in the stage in this one, but the Chippewas sacrificing the body. Both Keelan Baker and Isaac Gibbs, excellent plays there. This is what we've come to expect from this team, and especially the leadership group that now has to set the tempo for all of these new players doing it right there.
O'Connor in on the backhand, let it go. Rychek is out of the box. Here's a shot there by Brennan Carr, and it went wide. Oh, and a big hit there on Nadeau, and he gets cross-checked from behind. Again, no call. Referees letting both sides play. Oh, fan on the shot. Another opportunity blocked by Nadeau. Rebound, another shot. Went wide of Jones. Now a great feed out in front and a great defensive play there by Keelan Baker to knock the puck out of the slot. Great Bulldog pressure here, and the Chippewas finally get it out and can go for a line change with 10:57 to go here in period number 3. Great shift by the Bulldogs there.
But even better defensive posture from the Chips. They really stayed poised all over the ice, stayed in front of the man, really took away their vision, didn't allow shots to get to Lauren Jones, and when they did get to him, he stopped them, redirected them. So these Chips, I wouldn't be too worried, folks. They have been exceptional all through this game on the penalty kill. They've showed it here once again, and this is going to be something that they can build momentum off as they head into the next week against Lake Superior State University and Cleary after that.
Lake Superior State, the upcoming foe for CMU, struggled mightily last season in Division III. They are an independent team. Oh my goodness. How the devil is that not a penalty? My goodness.
Chippewa faithful are not happy with that one, clearly.
Neither is your play-by-play broadcaster. Van Rychuk picks up the puck at neutral ice. He gets bumped. And the Bulldogs pick up the loose change. Halfway through this third period, CMU leading 3-1 off a goal from Bottles in this third. Here's a shot ripped it wide on the blocker's side of Jones. Bulldogs rim it around the boards from far side to near. Rychuk is able to deflect it out with help from Julian Johnson. And Brennan Martin is... Christopher Martin. I knew the names were going to get me on the back of the jersey at one point.
Yeah,
Kevin.
but Reagan, you've had a great call so far as to it. We didn't mention it at the beginning of the broadcast, folks, but CMU actually working with returning numbers of players that have recently departed. This has been due to the fact that there has been a back order of jerseys for the Chippewas coming in for all 10 new skaters they need. And in the ACHA, sometimes events like this happen. You get jerseys late. Reber Sports, a great producer of jerseys for the Chippewas, a great partner that they've had for a number of years now. And hopefully they'll have their jerseys by the time comes Lake Superior State. But Reagan Cleaves, honor to you, my friend. You have had an exceptional call so far.
Thank you very much. And I wouldn't be able to do it without my color commentator of now one season and one game. Now here come the Bulldogs on a quick shot down the right side, and it went past Lauren Jones. Now the Chippewas are able to send it into the offensive end. Bulldogs come out with it. A pass ahead deflected, and the Bulldogs are able to keep it in. Good job. Great job on the mat check there by Morgan to work the puck free for Andrew Porzondik. He tried to get around his man. He goes tumbling, and the Bulldogs gain control. 8:17 to go here in the third period from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Central Michigan and Ferris State playing for the first time in just about 2 years.
You know, in an alternate life, I'd like to think Andrew Porzondik was a balance beam gymnast for the Central Michigan Chippewas, because he looks like a ballerina jumping around on the ice there. His sticks all over the place, knee down, jumping over bodies.
He did a really good job at keeping his feet. Here's Brandon Clements. Turns and rims it up the boards. Hit Andrew Siraki, and ahead springs Bottles, and a 2-on-1 with Gibbs. Bottles down the right side, fires it wide. Now Hayes keeps it to the left point. Shot was blocked there by the Bulldogs. Hayes gets it back. A wrist shot along the ice for Bottles. In tight, a shot and a save there by Bartholomew. It's rimmed around the boards to the near side. Bulldogs getting to it there. Oh, and Hayden Flynn got decked as he was going after his man. Now Brandon Clements entering the zone, lost the puck, trying to keep it at the right point, but he turned it over.
Yeah, and you know what? Brendan Clements, we haven't talked about him enough on this broadcast. The new defenseman for the Chippewas coming to CMU has really played a solid two-way game here. He's been on the forecheck when he's needed to, taken the body, took a couple of hard hits in the first period. It led to a penalty that was in favor of the Chippewas on a power play, but Clements have looked stout so far throughout this game, and really I've been impressed from the defenseman, freshman, 6'1", 165 pounds from Clarkston, another player that in high school did his job and was an excellent penalty killer and physical presence, and he'll be one for the Chippewas this year. Hayden
Flynn, the culprit of an interference penalty behind the play, which is why we didn't see it. And that'll put the Bulldogs on another power play. They're 1 for 3 tonight. Here's a shot saved by Jones. Rebound, loose in the slot, and a shot blocked there by Benaraichuk. Chippewas clear it out, kill 15 seconds on that power play.
An update, Andrew Porzondik went off the ice and now has gone to the locker room. We'll await a pending injury update for the third-year forward.
Benaraichuk and Johnson battling for it. Now stepping free into the slot. A save there by Jones, and the rebound is still battled for, and Jones eventually tries to fight at the side of the net. Didn't work. Interference the call on Hayden Flynn. He still has 1:09 left on the man advantage.
Oh, look out. Changes coming for the Bulldogs. They caught him. And Connor Morgan, if he had one extra step there, he could have beat the defender back to the puck shorthanded.
Martin battling for it, or battling out in front with Tingler. Oh, and Martin just got Bump to the ice. Stingler returning his stick for him. Pretty nice gesture there. And now Whaley is giving the referee. He's letting him have it.
Yeah, that's expected because in this game, although we haven't really acknowledged it too much, or maybe you have, Reagan, the officiating has been a little bit, and I wouldn't say in favor of someone, but certainly there's been a lot of missed calls than this one that have affected the Chippewas, but they stayed poised and disciplined so far, and I'm mostly impressed with that fact.
Now another penalty is going to come up on the Chippewas, and it's going to be a cross-check, setting them on a lengthy 5-on-3, 38 seconds of which...
Just as I say that, Jay Nadeau going to the box. It's going to allow 5-on-3 for 38 seconds. This was the exact scenario that cost the Chippewas early in the first period, which led to a Bulldog goal. And you have to be a little bit saying to yourself, man, just give some a little bit of poise. You got 5.5 minutes left to go in this first game. You want to get out of here. You've controlled the game up to this point. Don't let it get out of hand, as it looks like the teams are going to take a timeout, and so will we.
Now, we're going to stay here, Devin, and take a look at the state in Chippewas history.
Well, thanks,
Back
Megan.
in 2016, the Chippewas started their season off on September the 23rd. They lost to the Purdue Boilermakers 4-3 in the first of a two-game weekend series in Fishers, Indiana. Central Michigan downed the first two goals of the contest before the Boilermakers rattled off 4 of the last 5 to take the game, and the first of an eventual series split that weekend. Justice Bigelow, Chase Wallace, and Tyler Carr scored for CMU. So Nadeau is off for a cross-check here. And Devin, this is shaping up the same situation basically with 5 minutes left that CMU found themselves against Trine back last year in January.
Yeah, that resulted in a tie. Their fourth at the time as it was on the season. They ended with 7, including nationals on the year, the most across all 3 ACHA divisions. You have to remember that the Chippewas, even though they've played well in a lot of games, even dating back to last season through 3 periods, there's been times where you have that uncanny mistake, that one shift of momentum that allows the other team to get a goal on a power play, similar to this 5-on-3 scenario, and they could have more. Lauren Jones has to be exceptional here in this last 5.5 minutes.
Fans here at Ewigleben Ice Arena on their feet for both their respective clubs. Chippewas win the draw and send to the length of the ice. Chris Martin doing a great job to tie up his man. He's out there with Charlie Hayes and Connor Morgan. Here come the Bulldogs. Down the left wing, O'Connor toe drags and a shot right on Lauren Jones. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Same 3 for CMU stays out there. Draw to the right of Lauren Jones, won by the Bulldogs. They work it across, a shot from in tight. Oh, that popped up into the air. Jones lost sight of it, gets back to his crease. Works it up top. Bulldogs cycling the puck well, and that one goes up and out of play with 4 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Now this is where the Chippewas have to be careful. Last time they faced a 5-on-3 back in the first period, Devin, they killed off the 5-on-3, and then they seem to kind of slacken on the defense. They're like, okay, we survived this, we can take a breath. But that didn't work.
Yeah,
Ferris State came back and scored that goal about 10 seconds into that power play.
More importantly, Rychuk needs this face-off win.
Rychuk in for Morgan, and he lost the face-off. Puck free to the far side. Chippewas have killed off one penalty. Still have 1:18 left on the 5-on-4. Worked up top. Here's Zach Knoll firing it across. Bulldogs back up top for Knoll. Knoll tried to spin around at the CCHA logo. Set it near side. Oh, that one almost came up out of play. And right toward the fans in the near side section. Now looking for a backdoor feed. There was Puraleski. He couldn't handle it as it went off his skate. Now O'Connor at the high slot, a shot. Ripped it wide. Rebound at the side of the net. Lauren Jones holds on with 49 seconds left and the Nadu penalty.
Yeah, and that's great vision there by the assistant captain, Christopher Martin. Really saw the cross ice pass coming at the top of the slot area, had none out of it. Put his stick right in the position to intercept the play. And the Bulldogs have really struggled with those passes all night. Not really quick enough to get past Chippewa defenders. They're staying poised right now with 48 seconds left to kill.
Knoll takes the puck off the face-off, slides it across and gets it back, steps into the one-timer and a great blocker save there by Lauren Jones. And now look up here, Sam Camara. Camara bouncing puck, corrals it over the line, left side, into the Ferris State zone. Eventually lost the puck, but the Bulldogs have to waste time in their own end and wasting time on their own power play. Now here come the Bulldogs, a shot off the side of the net. Ben Rychuk back there for CMU. His pass was intercepted. Now he's trying to take away the passing lanes. Puck squirts free to the near side for Luke Snow along the half wall. Snow works it up top for Newton. Long pass to the near side from in tight. Trying to feed it back door. Rychuk's clearing attempt was blocked by Gibbs, and the Chippewas are out of.
And Nady's going to come out of the box and be the first one there. Oh, that could have been so close. Bartholomew coming all the way out.
Coming way out of his net. And that negated the icing, too.
Absolutely. And you know what? Gibbs saw him streaking out. He knew the time was ending based on Bartholomew's banging his stick to get the play going. And really, if Nadu was just out of the box a half a second sooner, he could have got that puck there alone.
3:11 to go in regulation here at Ewigleben Ice Arena. Central Michigan leads 3-1 off of goals from Baker, Morgan, and Bottles. Both Morgan and Bottles getting their first career goals in the maroon and gold. Puck tied up in the right wing corner now with time ticking away. We're under 2:50 to go, and eventually the whistle is blown, and the puck is going to come outside the zone with that face-off.
Yeah, and that's just a result of tired bodies, but also smart decision by the Chippewas. Tie this puck up a little bit in the corner, waste some of that time, get yourself a face-off. A lot of confidence and poise, killing off the 5-on-3, the 5-on-4, and right now the Chippewas just need to hold on the last 250 to get themselves their first win of the season.
Folks, we got 2:51 left here in regulation. We will have our post-game show as usual coming up after this at the conclusion of the game. Where Devin and I will recap this game and take a final look at the out-of-town scoreboard from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Now here come the Bulldogs over the right wing. Pass out in front, knocked away by Clements, and he gets belted. And here's a shot that deflects high over the glass, and it came out right in front. And Lauren Jones lost it, but it went over top of him and out to center ice. Carrying the puck over the line left side, here's Chase Adams into the left half wall. He holds it there, works it around behind there for Fuller. Fuller works it up top there for Rivard. Rivard tried to throw it down low. He got caught up there with Adams. 120 seconds left here in the third period. CMU holding on to a 2-goal lead against the Ferris State Bulldogs. Now here's Andrew Siraki up the right wing. He gets stepped into there by O'Connor, loses the puck, it comes behind. We got to watch for Bartholomew as he may head to the bench if the Bulldogs can get possession in the offensive end. Avery Rivard with 1:33 to go. Bulldogs come out. There goes Bartholomew. Over the line, here's Brennan Kahn. Lost the puck, picking it up. There were the Chippewas. They get it out, but that's going to go into the Chippewa bench before it came out of the zone. So we're going to have a draw back to the left of Lauren Jones. 6-on-5. Bartholomew is to the bench in the Ferris State net. To our right is empty. A gaping 6x4 cage for any Chippewa if they want to try their luck with enough time to get a shot off. Isaac Gibbs picks it up and takes it down the ice. It's rolling toward the empty net and in. Isaac Gibbs caps off a wonderful night. Not only does he have 2 assists, he now has a goal to go on top. And with 1:18 to go in this third period, CMU is looking like they're going to walk out of Ewigleben Ice Arena with a 4-1 victory.
A great all-around game for Isaac Gibbs. 2 goals on the night, and he's really been on the offensive side amazing, but he's also been the good person to clear the puck the length of the ice, and that one paid off for him again. My Light the Lamp pick picking up another point for me as I make the best picks in Light the Lamp this week.
Welcome to this edition of How Big Can Devin's Head Get? We will have a lot of those this season, especially.
Oh, I looked up at you and you went, "Don't you say it." I was cueing it all the way. It is this big.
I think it's big enough to inflate
Hey, look,
fill
Vamos
the
had a great night
entirety
as
of
well.
Ewigleben Ice
We'll
Arena.
have it all for you on the post-game show of Central Ice Hockey, and maybe a boxing brawl. Stay tuned.
We won't have a boxing brawl. We don't get to that point. 1:03 left here in the third period. CMU up 4-1 at Ewigleben Ice Arena. Their openings game of the 2022-23 campaign. That is also their 10th season of hockey in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. This is going to go for icing against the Maroon and Gold. Speaking of the post-game show, we'll have players to watch, keys to the game. Both of those recaps, seeing how the Chippewas employed those. We'll take a look at our 3 stars of the game, the upcoming schedule, the Light, the Lamp, and one final look at the out-of-town scoreboard. All that coming up on the SeamishIceHockey.com post-game show. 40 seconds to go. The Bulldogs from a sharp angle feed it out in front. Bouncing puck in the slot, comes free in the right circle. Still bounces around with under 30 to go. Cundiff trying to get to it, but eventually is worked free, and Cundiff keeps it into the point. And Austin Ritter rims it around the boards there for Tyler Martin, stepping on the ice for the first time here this afternoon. In the final 12 seconds, the Chippewas take it and lift it down the ice. It will not go far enough for icing. Colton Cundiff back there to play catch with his defensive partner with 3 seconds to go. Will hold it behind the net, and the Central Michigan Chippewas open up their 10th season of hockey in spectacular fashion, scoring 4 unanswered goals after Ferris State opened up the game less than 5 minutes in. CMU will go home, travel the 1 hour back to Mount Pleasant, happy here tonight at Ewigleben Ice Arena. We'll step aside at the post-game show for you right after this here from Ewigleben Ice Arena. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Sarah will be back right after this on CCHN. Welcome back here inside the broadcast booth. The really nice broadcast booth, I might add.
It is.
Here at the Division I rink here at Ferris State, known as RL Ewigleben Ice Arena. We have had a wonderful time here tonight, especially with the play happening down below us as the Central Michigan Chippewas come here to Big Rapids and knock off Ferris State by a final score of 4-1. Well, and let's take you through that one right now, taking a look at our game recap presented by OptimX Sports. Ferris State started things off strong when they got a power play early on after killing off one of their own. Ben Rychek went to the box at 2:22 of the first period for interference, followed quickly thereafter by Julian Johnson, who went off for a trip with just 5 seconds left in that Rychek penalty. They killed off that 5-on-3 for the first 5 seconds, but then at 4:28 of the first period, the Bulldogs opened up the scoring on a goal from Ty Schiff.
Yeah, and really it was a bang-bang play, a quick face-off win, got the puck to the low slot area. First shot, first goal on Lauren Jones. He allowed his first goal as a Chippewa after pitching a shutout last year to U of M Flint, but he was poised in this one, saved 30 on 31 and got the win. And after this one, the Chippewas really settled down and played their style, controlling the game.
Yeah, and you talked about that. CMU committed 2 penalties in that first period. They were very undisciplined penalties, especially coming with just 48 seconds left. Isaac Gibbs went off for the third penalty of that second period. The power play would carry over into the second period, and that's where we'll move on here. The Chippewas would kill off that Isaac Gibbs power play before getting one of their own when Schmidt was sent off at 1:55, giving the Chippewas an opportunity on the power play, and they did not disappoint. With 2:43 left in the second period, Nathan Bottles worked down the left side, wrapped around the back of the net, and attempted to stuff it home. It didn't work, but he found Keelan Baker on the back door, who tapped it home. The captain for CMU kicking off the scoring here tonight for the Maroon and Gold.
Yeah, and really that was an awesome transition play. Bottles really came into his own throughout this game. Had a kind of a slow start, looked a little bit uncanny, got to the play late at times, but that one he made a great effort on his own and taking advantage of rebounds. We talked about in the pregame show, to get the puck past Bartholomew, they'd have to get the puck shots low. They couldn't give him anything up high. Great on his blocker and glove side, the Ferris State goaltender is. And you know what? He played an exceptional game, saved 27 on 31, but the Chippewas, once they opened up the scoring, the floodgates were unparalleled.
Yeah, just 2 minutes and 17 seconds later, the Central Michigan Chippewas got a goal from their freshman. Connor Morgan picked up a rebound from Isaac Gibbs in the slot, and he had a wide open cage out in front of him, and he put it right where it should have gone, in between the pipes, to put Central Michigan up 2-1, and that is the game-winning goal here tonight, as Ferris State wouldn't get another one. So how about the freshman Connor Morgan getting his first goal in a Chippewa uniform that turns out to be the game-winning goal?
It is, and in fact, a number of Chippewa forwards in their first game had an excellent time. Sam Camara looked strong on defense. Connor Morgan excelled. He looks like another rendition of Keegan Moore, fast, nimble, still able to play physical, but get the quickness to get past defenders and find those low slot areas and just make a great play. It doesn't have to be flashy or always the bar down goals that we expect. Sometimes it's those dirty ones. Sometimes it's getting that rebound in front and just being in the right position at the right time. Connor Morgan did that, had an excellent first game as a Chippewa.
He certainly did, and we saw a lot from the freshman here tonight, and we'll get to more of that a little bit as we go on. That would be all the scoring for the second period, so CMU, after 40 minutes, had a 2-1 lead, and there weren't many power plays to speak of in that second period. 2 for Ferris State and 1 for CMU. Both teams at the end of 40 had scored a power play goal. Heading into the third, just a minute and 50 in, Nathan Bottles, the transfer from Arcadia, there we go. Transfer from Arcadia, got himself his first ACHA goal.
Yeah, he did. We expect a lot from Nathan Bottles this year. We talked about him a ton in the pregame show. Great speed to get past defenders, great hockey IQ, vision on the ice, able to be agile enough and read plays like a whim to get those needed goals for the Chippewas and step up. He did that in this game and really came into his own. And okay, had a couple of tough times getting to the play late. He has a few bad habits he's got to clean up. He sometimes gets to the play late, skating too deep on the ends of the ice and really getting there when he can just take a quick turn and get himself in position with a blade. Missed on a couple one-timers. He'll clean that stuff up in practice as expected in his first game as a Chippewa. An excellent night from Bottles once again.
Yeah, an excellent night from Bottles, but an even more excellent night from the man who was credited with the assist on the Nathan Bottles goal. Isaac Gibbs, who up until this point in the game had 2 assists on the Morgan goal and the Bottles goal. He, on that Bottles goal, was in the left corner, tried to put a shot or a pass off the side of the net. It hit the post, kind of startled Bartholomew a little bit, disoriented him, and Bottles was able to pick up the puck in the slot and slide it through the 5-hole.
And really the difference was the adjustments made by Austin Whaley, the assistant coach for the Chippewas, handling the forecheck along with Tyler Cataline. They started the game on separate lines, but as the play went on in the second period, Cataline made the decision to move them to the same line. That was a really amazing decision by both those coaches to put them on the same line. They were making duo dynamic moves all over the ice. They were playing the game they wanted, really were making it hard on Bartholomew when the defenders weren't there to defend because they were so fast. Isaac Gibbs, the leading scorer for the Chippewas last season, expected to be their leading scorer once again, and I had no surprise seeing him be a benefactor of that tonight.
Isaac Gibbs played very well tonight, and he capped off a great night with an empty net goal. Basically, as soon as the Bulldogs had pulled Hunter Bartholomew. There was a face-off in the Chippewa end. It was a loose puck for a second. Gibbs picked it up and flung it about 150 feet down the ice and into the empty net, a rolling puck. And that was his first goal of the campaign of what we hope to be many forthcoming. Shots on goal in that game, 31-31. It did not look that way. Like we would end up even in shots coming into that third period. CMU had a 29-16 lead coming in to that third period in shots, but Ferris State pulled back and put a ton of pressure on CMU in that third.
And they did, but when the Chippewa defense needed to step up after a couple of untimely penalties late in that third, not only did the defense step up, but Lauren Jones, as I mentioned, his second start as a Chippewa, he looked very poised late in the game. He started off looking pretty nervous, had a tough time getting across his crease to pucks that were going all over the place, redirections. But when they came to his chest protector on end, he secured them up, looked poised, settled the play down, and really was a strong presence for them. And that's something that impressed me. We're going to talk about this goaltender battle all season, and I think in the beginning part of the year, it's going to be, at least for now, Lauren Jones' spot to beat. Now, the freshman Elijah Jones, as well as the returning junior Joel Drucker, have a chance at getting that starting spot. And looking at who will be that starting goaltender, it's a big debate in the locker room as well as our broadcast booth. But the fact is Lauren Jones got his second win as a Chippewa, saving 30-on-31, poised. Did a good job, and his defenders did a great job in front, blocking shots I needed to. That whole entire Chippewa defense stepped up today and really is the benefactor of their win.
Yeah, certainly. And taking a look at the special teams, one thing I want to touch on, Devin, is the fact that CMU had 7 penalties in this hockey game.
But 6 for 7 on that penalty kill.
We're 6 for 7. So they have, at least in this game, they've shown a tendency to commit penalties, but it'll be interesting to see how they fare going forward on that penalty kill. Now, taking a look at our players to watch, Devin, you have those for us.
Absolutely. At the beginning of the show, we talked about Nathan Bottles and Isaac Gibbs. In this post-game show, we've mentioned the exceptional play. Well, they are our players to watch, and both of them had a great night. Nathan Bottles, a goal and assist, capitalized on mistakes of the defense off a turnover. Isaac Gibbs, the sophomore, goal and 2 assists tonight. And on the Ferris State side, Sean O'Connor and Van Vliet really had a quiet night, but they were all over the front of the presence and made it tough on Lauren Jones.
Certainly. Sean O'Connor had multiple opportunities on Lauren Jones. He was certainly a thorn in the side for Central Michigan, but they were able to work past him and shut him down, and it worked well for CMU here tonight. Devin, you've also got our keys to the game.
Yeah, looking back at what we talked about at the top of the show, we said the Chippewas need to set up fast tempo and move with intensity. What we meant by that was really play their style of game and push the offensive presence to Ferris, moving them back in their own zone, attacking the front of the net, picking up those rebounds. The first period didn't look like that at all. They were committing those tough penalties. They really looked like they were getting caught up in their own end. That entire story changed the second and third period. Very impressed by the Chippewas on that front. They managed the back end and capitalized on the mistakes. When turnovers happened, they made stuff happen in front of the net. Really capitalized, we mentioned, on those rebounds. But this is going to be a recurring thing. When the mistakes happen on the other end of the ice, they have to be better at finishing the job. This team has the speed. They have the poise. They're going to build the chemistry. We just have to see them make more ability and capitalize on their mistakes. And finally, we had back up your goaltender and block shots. As we mentioned, this defense is stepped up, and they look so much more poised than last year. When you rely on a goaltender like Thomas Rowe for so many years, after such a great performance from him over his career, it's bound that changes have to happen. And players that impressed me were Brendan Clement, Sam Camara, Charlie Hayes. How about him? Had a couple of blocks tonight. Christopher Martin, all across the board, even with the injured Brendan Kielb, as well as the defenseman out, Kyle Chapman. The players, the forwards stepped up, and Austin Ritter had a solid game. Has some stuff to work on if he's going to play the back end for them. But I was very impressed by the deep back end of the Chippewas.
Overall, a very solid game outside of the penalties committed by CMU. A very good game here tonight on opening night 2022. That leads us to the 3 stars of the game. Number 3 here tonight, it was Connor Morgan getting his first career American Collegiate Hockey Association goal on the assist from Isaac Gibbs. He played a wonderful night, just not only with that goal, but also all around the ice here tonight. Our second star of the game goes to Nathan Bottles, the transfer from Arcadia in the NCAA Division III. He got a goal and an assist tonight, including the third goal on the board for CMU. And our first star of the game is Isaac Gibbs with a goal and 2 assists. He was all over the ice for CMU, doing a great job for the Chippewas. Taking a look ahead on the schedule for both of these two teams, CMU will have to wait a week before they take on the Lake Superior State Lakers, and that'll be a bit of an anomaly throughout the season, having to wait a week after playing on a Friday. CMU will not have another one-and-done game for, I believe, the rest of the semester, so this will be a much-needed time to rest, recuperate, and get ready to play Lake Superior State. We'll have coverage for you on that one starting at 8:30 p.m. right here on the CMU Club Hockey Network for a 9 p.m. puck drop from Martin Ice Arena. As for Ferris State, they, on the other hand, do not have to wait. They have to wait less than 24 hours before their next opponent. They will take on West Virginia here Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow starting at 5:30 here at Ewigleben Ice Arena. And Devin, you've got to light the lamp for us here tonight.
Yeah, and a really good night for both of us, actually. Isaac Gibbs, my pick, with 4 points on the night, a goal and 2 assists. Really had, as we mentioned, 3 stars of the game, an excellent night. Nathan Bottles, your pick, a goal and assist, 3 points for you. Joe Grogan over there, not so good night, but hey, Andrew Porzanic got close. You know, we made the comment, and another life, he would be a ballerina out there on the ice with the May. He's moving his stick like a baton. Oh, great night all around.
We're just continuing the trends for Joe last
year.
Hey,
listen, I am still owed a steak dinner, by the way. I have not received this for my win last year in Light the Lamp. But, that'll have to wait, I guess, for a couple of weeks.
It will have to wait. One last look at the out-of-town scoreboard again. The Grand Rapids Griffins start their season October 14th against the San Diego Gulls. Detroit Red Wings start their preseason festivities on the 27th of September, taking on Pittsburgh. And the Saginaw Spirit start their year on October 1st against the Galoof Storm. A special thanks here to cameraman Liam Lang, working the camera for us here tonight, our producer Matt Ryder, Joe Grogan, our social media man, and for the people here at Ferris State, Harrison Watt, the Division I broadcaster for the Ferris State Bulldogs, the NCAA version. He was instrumental in getting us set up here, as was Tim Blashill, the assistant AD here at Ferris State University, and Dan Cosgrove, the coach for the Ferris State Bulldogs. We'd also like to thank Moorhall Television at Central Michigan University. And before we head out, we've got Brendan Martin up here. How you doing, Brendan? It's good to see you come out and support the Chippewas in their first road game.
Yeah, they looked great. Looked like they just stepped up right where they left off last year. First period was a little shaky. It's usually how it goes for us, though, right? We usually take a step off in the first and then let them have it in the second half of the game, though. So the rookies all looked good. We had, 2 guys that had their first goals of their careers.
Yeah, we had
solid performance,
Morgan and Bottles.
Only going up from here, right?
Yeah, only going
Absolutely.
up. Folks, it's Brennan Martin, former captain of the Central Michigan University Chippewas, coming back and supporting the Chippewas on the road. Good to see the alumni always coming back and supporting the club team that they love so dearly. Well, that will just about do it for us here tonight, but we will be back next Friday when the Central Michigan Chippewas take on the Lake Superior State Lakers at Martin Ice Arena. Until then, this is Reagan Cleaves, Fort Evans, Sarah, and everybody behind the scenes saying so long from Ewigleben Ice Arena in Big Rapids, Michigan, as the Central Michigan Chippewas knock off the Ferris State Bulldogs in a rousing fashion here on opening night 2022-23. So long, everybody. Have a great night.